hello YouTube as well. As always, for these streams, we are joined by guests. Watcher Arcanist, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I am Dr. Emmett Taylor. I am a lecturer in the Department of Early and Medieval Irish at University College Cork. And I've been loving this game so far. I'm really interested to see how it concludes.
Right. And my name's Nicholas. I go by Arcanist on Discord. I'm a hobbyist historian who focuses on the history of magic, especially 19th and 20th century occult lodges. So I have been absolutely loving everything that we have gotten here so far. We get everything from folkloric magic to mythic references to high theology to heretical mysticism to high society psychic research. It runs the whole gamut. It's a cosmology car crash, and it has been delightful so far.
It's been so good. And we'll see how they manage to draw the ending together, but right now I've been pretty darn impressed with it. Bree, hello? Wait, Bree, aren't you live, like, right now? Wait, aren't you live, like, right now? I appreciate you coming in, but, also, delightful. Raven, Space Nerd, Bookworm, Under the Constellations, this dude, Amit, Arachnius Barda, thank you for the 41-month streak. And yeah, Raptorus, Sacerdos, you're mostly here now. Phenomenal. Raptorus, why do you do this to us? So about that Morrigan movie.
Oh, yeah. No, this is technically my fault because I did
This
bring
is
it to
also
the
your
server's
fault.
attention.
This is so sad. At 49 months of tier 1 with the evil mischievous emoji. Yeah, so that's a whole thing, huh? Apparently, Irish asterisk something is having a moment again. And so there is a crappy looking Morrigan horror movie that
Yep.
got a trailer.
Yeah, it's an odd
Yep.
choice.
Yeah, I really don't have anything interesting to say about it, mostly because I'm like, what the heck? Who the what? Why the what?
It seems like a pretty bog standard deity associated with death must be evil that that film has liked to do for the last 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
What gets me is that I don't believe the director and writer is Irish, and the Morgan doesn't have a fada on the eye. So it's just like, oh, okay, great.
Is it the trailer that IGN posted a day ago? Yes. But yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. Like most like an awful lot of generic death deity must be evil horror movie. The folks associated with it do not seem to have a heritage or professional connection to the thing, and that leads them to be sloppy about it.
I'm also I'm now reading the summary. The film follows an archaeologist specializing in Gaelic mythology. That's not what an archaeologist does.
By
No,
You can't
definition,
no.
you
by
can't do that.
hmm,
It's all literary sources in Irish stuff. We don't have any pots to look at. Like I guess you could have archaeologists looking at like mythic
that
depictions in like that kind of stuff, like over with Greece and so on. We don't got anything. Don't have a single thing we can confidently say is a deity. We have some things people have confidently said are deities. They're all wrong.
fascinating. Yeah.
There's that
Yep.
one statue of a guy holding his hand that people argue up and down is Nuada Silverhand. But
Yeah, totally. We can totally have no idea when those statues were freaking built, because dating is hard. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make my undergrads released from her tomb. The Morrigan is distinctly one of the ones who isn't dead. A
it,
lot of them are
she's,
dead. She is not.
Sorry, it
she's
is
in
full.
fact one of the
Yeah. So it is fully just the mummy, but Irish themed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So she's just legitimately one. She's legitimately just one of the few Tuatha Dé who's not dead by the presence of the mythic cycle.
Yeah.
phenomenal. No notes.
I've been at that castle. Sorry. I'll stop watching this and talking to myself. I'll make my students look at that. One of them's actually presenting a paper on depictions of the Morgan, so I'll make her include that.
Yeah, yeah. I love being able to torture the students with it.
Oh, I love
Your
they have
student will have to wait until April for it to release, but
they have a fake. Hold on, I'm gonna paste this in historical nonsense.
Incredible.
This is a fake. What is that supposed to be? Not a woodcut. That's a thing that isn't real. That doesn't that image that does not exist. We have no historic depictions of any Tuatha De Danann.
oh, that's
All.
incredible.
Let
And
me pull this onto the camera
Is it
because this is worth.
does anybody know where that if that's modernly
No.
made?
That's not real. They must have made that for the movie. Look,
Yeah.
the armor is all wrong too. That's a Gothic sallet.
Yeah, hang on. Let me get it on camera quick. There we go. Yeah, none of that follows the rules. It would be a woodcut. But for 15th century woodcutting. Fully.
Hey,
not
Amit.
close.
How's that in Latin?
How's your Latin?
My Latin's bad. Why is there no so Morrigan?
Bella
Does anybody
caetis
have
imitationis in campo corvus terribilis apparens in something nigris mortem something Morrigan the terrible and mutated god in a field appearing in the form of a terrible black crow portending death.
Sure.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
so that's so you've got human form covered in feathers, big bird wings, but not the way that a medieval manuscript illustrator would have done bird wings. A crow head that is not how they would have done a crow head, especially not with that raptorial beak. And
Got the boobs out.
And it's got boobs
Yep.
out.
Yep. And yeah,
Which is probably the only actual medieval-y thing about it.
Yeah. Mutationis is in the look. I gave a very dubious translation. But I think grammatically it is Caetis and Mutationis are in the genitive. So I think I may have just flubbed the translation, but that's fine. And Wolfie is sniping literally everybody.
Those also look like late 15th century armors. That's
Yeah,
Gothic.
I was gonna say.
You can see the rondelles at their elbows and knees, and also at the shoulders on one of the guys.
Yeah,
one
but
guy
it
is
doesn't
wearing
look
a
like a
Germanic
15th
sallet.
century. It doesn't look like a 15th century woodcut in any other aspect.
No,
it's medieval, inverted commas.
Yeah, and two of the guys are completely unarmored from the leg down, but they're wearing hose.
Yep.
Oh, right. The guy. So all those people do have armored legs. That's interesting. Huh.
Yeah, two of them are wearing full articulated leg plate, which is late 15th century and later. But I think the particular style they're going with doesn't quite fit with the cuirasses they're depicting.
No.
Because with those kind of sallets, with that sallet, you'd expect a brigandine with articulated arms and leg.
Let me find an appropriately comparable woodcut real quick to show everyone why I'm like, hey, this doesn't look right. I prefer one that doesn't get Alamy mad at me. That's fine.
You are right, this dude. They couldn't even do the deep pull of making her look like one of the kindly ones. But they could have, because that would have been cool.
Okay, there we go. So this is Mercury ruling over the arts. So this is not a military scene. But if you compare that to that, you see what I mean? On like it just doesn't look right. It's hard to place what exactly it is, but like they're doing the eyes just slightly incorrect. Their backgrounds are bad. They've yeah, just kind of cheaped out on it, and that's fascinating. It's just what a strange trailer, and what a strange choice. Uh, huh. Well, uh, I think that's probably enough rambling about that and being angry about bad Irish stuff when we can be angry at good Irish stuff and bad people doing good Irish stuff. And by good Irish stuff, I mean isn't the guy who's responsible for all of this English?
The Blakes
Uh,
are English, yes.
The Blakes are, but
yes.
also what's his face, like the guy who obviously did it.
Oh, Coventry. Yeah, he's a Londoner.
He's a Londoner. So will engage in the glorious Irish pastime of hating the English for completely justified reasons. So yeah,
Oh,
let's catch people up on where we're at. Uh,
of course.
we have basically finished everyone's stories. We made it into we are in day 3, so we have about 6 hours left until the seance. Uh, and we have accomplished almost everything that we need to do before then. So we have made it into the basement. We discovered who hired us. It was Mrs. Joyce, the housekeeper. Uh, we have learned that the staff is incredibly cursed. Like, that was deeply uncomfortable. I didn't enjoy that one bit. They are cursed to only speak in unison and monotones about the Blake family. Uh, and that was weird. We have eliminated the number of suspects for who could have kidnapped the worst human being alive, Evelyn Dean, to one. To one person. Uh, and so yeah, we have to finish off a couple of stories in order to fully mess up this seance. Uh, and then during the silent dinner, we will break into the Blake family manor to go speak to Walter to go figure out where we're at in Endgame. And that's about all we have left to do. So
We do also have to finish talking to Father Lorcan to
mm,
clue him in on the god imprisoned under the manor and that he's kind of wrong about the cosmology of it.
yes, we do. He is one of the 2 people that we have not fully saved from their own bad desires and dubious ability to do stuff. It's her, Father Lorcan, and the maid.
Ah, yes,
Who,
Saoirse. We still have to help her
Saoirse
find her
Murphy.
kid.
And those 2 are the same quest. Yeah, those 2 are the same quest. So well, basically, we're going to load in. We're going to listen to Simon Coventry, definitely the man who did it, give a talk, and then after we do that, we will save the rest of the people, except for Simon Coventry, because he deserves what's coming to him. And we will go from there. And Walter is definitely not possessed. We haven't seen Walter yet. That's the problem. We haven't seen him yet. So we don't know. But it's probably not good. So, without further ado, let's hop on in. Yeah.
Oh, I did just have a thought
Oh?
about Lorcan's potential incorrectness of the cosmology. Watcher, do you think they might be going for the version where the Tuatha Dé are angels that sat out of the war in heaven?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, that would actually more closely tie it to general Gnostic stuff. Yeah, or not general Gnostic stuff, but it would make it fit a little better than
It,
like
it would be
actual
an
pagan
easier
gods or
translation.
unfallen humans.
Yeah. Would be a much easier translation from angel who didn't participate to Aeon than it is from fully a pagan god to Aeon. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. As with all of this, we could still have some spicy stuff. There's Saoirse's story is very tragic. So, at any point, please do take care of yourselves here as we go through the end of this. 5 o'clock p.m. Alright, let me just update everyone again as to where we are at. Arwa Hisham. Saved. Not the culprit. Caitlin Joyce. Saved. Not the culprit. Carmela Mantovani. Gonna die, but is technically saved. Not the culprit. Cathal O'Mara.
Saved question mark.
Saved. He's not gonna die at this seance. Cool. Quarantine
If we are
Quinn.
very lucky, the lavender marriage he's going to be the Bearden will keep him from doing something ill-advised.
Hopefully. He doesn't even have to be in that anymore, right? Because that all wrapped up in a different way. That was Ivy's plan, but that may just not be necessary anymore with the blackmail materials all gone. So Cathal O'Mara got problems. Quarantine Quinn, not the culprit. Gonna be fine. Hazel Erickson, terrible person, not the culprit. Fia Callahan, lovely person, not the culprit. Etienne Toussaint, French, not the culprit. Donald O'Finn, kidnapped. Dara Hunter, the best, not the culprit. Inish Barbosa, going to inherit all of Quarantine Quinn's money, not the culprit. Ivan McLeod, lesbian, not the culprit. Jonathan Blake, somehow not the culprit. Lloyd Dupre, my favorite, my goat, my hero, not the culprit. Lurkin, I hate him so much, but he's not the culprit. Seamus, just gonna leave. Serge Murphy.
As he should. He's had his brain fried by a god.
He did have his brain fully cooked in the microwave by a god. I think he's allowed to just go on a long vacation. Serge Murphy, can't be the culprit. Having a very bad time. Rory Callahan, he's got a cool camera.
Boy, howdy, were we worried about Rory for a while.
He was not doing super well for a while. But we found reasons that he cannot be, the culprit, and that's fine. Olivia Darcy did commit a murder. Just isn't a kidnapper. Michael Scarrett was intending to off himself at the seance to live in... To live isn't the right word there. I was gonna say to live in infamy, but there's no living this involved. He wants to be the first guy to die, to be talked to as a ghost. We convinced him instead maybe he should use his $8 squadrillion to do something good.
You know, instead of funding Evelyn Dean's plot to become the Milesian Queen of Ireland.
Exactly. Walter Blake, we know nothing about him. Vincent Farley, we gave him a lot of gold, and now we like him. Lesbian or bisexual is fine. That exclusively leaves Simon Coventry as our problem. So speaking of Simon Coventry, he's gonna give us a talk. I just realized the game audio's muted. Yep. Don't worry, it's good now.
I'm going to share some
I got that at the same time y'all
facts
did.
about this part of Ireland that I picked up while researching for this trip.
Stay
So,
and listen.
I'm sure you all know this land came into the Blake family in the 1650s after Cromwell's invasion. What I found interesting was what came before.
How long before?
This land was a place of worship and innovation. A gathering spot for scholars and engineers and artists to work on understanding and advancement,
What?
the betterment of their people.
What?
Easy pickings for Edward Blake. No doubt he and Cromwell cared very little for any knowledge held by primitive pagans.
Okay, this is period appropriate romantic nationalist nonsense, but it is romantic nationalist nonsense.
Yeah. Because, you know, a tiny, deeply rural speck of land somewhere in the west of Connaught.
Wait, is it suggesting they were still pagans during the Cromwellian
Also,
conquest?
yes, he is fully
Yes.
doing that. The classic 17th century Irish Catholic pagans.
Fucking, yeah, no. Oh my god, okay. No. There
Great.
probably hadn't been any pagans, not counting the Norse, for 1,000 years by that point. Well, yeah, 1,000 years-ish.
Give or take a couple
Yeah,
hundred.
'cause-
Long enough for it to not be a big deal.
Yeah, because the Christianization would have started in the 4th century with Christianity's mass adoption in Britain. Padraig was 5th century.
Mhm.
And then you have the colonization of Dalriata by the Ulstermen in the later 6th century, as well as Dyfed by other Irishmen not from Ulster in Wales a little earlier in the 5th century.
Yeah.
Sacerdos does make a significant point, though, here. I don't know if what Sacerdos meant, but there is a pervasive narrative used that are like is I don't know how why I assume it's elsewhere, and Sacerdos could probably drop a line about this because this is his area, but you get accusations that the Catholics in Ireland are actually still secretly pagans,
Oh,
or
yeah,
that they're
absolutely.
actually that they're just pagans. Catholicism is just a pagan religion.
Oh yeah, that's a canard that's still well and alive. When I went to a religious middle school, because my family is Spanish Catholic, the kids were constantly telling me that I was a pagan.
Huh?
Well, because Mary and the saints, you see.
Yeah. No, sorry. You getting it, that being a thing in the 17th century, 100% yes. English Protestants love to accuse Catholics of being papists or pagans, and they're not sure which is worst. But that in the 21st century is wild.
Oh, I had to change my entire wardrobe when I went to there in middle school in 6th grade because I was a dinosaur and dragon kid, and don't you know those are symbols of Satan? So constant harassment by the kids until I changed shirts. Do you have any idea how hard it is to find just plain colored shirts for like 11, 12-year-old boys in the early 2010s? Everything was camo and skulls.
So I wonder if the game here is intentionally playing with this accusation of paganisms against Catholicism in Ireland, or if it's actually suggesting there are. Oh, we have a map. I'm gonna look at that map. One moment. Sorry, you keep doing this. I'm also gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of the map, and I'm gonna go say goodbye to my wife. She's going to work.
There we are. Yep. This is a crazy take. Also, I appreciate chat all spinning to accept our Satanism. Right, clearly the rotating cat is a sign of a dervish, which is a sign of Satanism for liking dinosaurs and dragons. It's smart. Okay.
I couldn't find anything that spoke to what happened at the work from that site. Presumably, it was set ablaze. One has to assume not everyone was put to death by Cromwell's forces. However, I suspect fact, many surrounding families have stories and knowledge passed down from that time and those people. Why,
It's not that
given
long
his
ago.
background, perhaps our very own Dr. Callahan is linked to that place.
Why are we doing this?
You flatter me, sir.
Rory's immediate discomfort.
Yeah. You know, this dude, I really do need the, that's a nice argument you got there. Got any source for that? My sources, I made it the fuck up. I really need that on my React board. Because I feel like neither of these quite get it. You know? Because I desperately need you got any source for like all of this.
Perhaps those survivors are the reason that Connacht is home to all manner of wonderful myths and sacred sites.
What?
Rathroin and her
Huh?
younger kith, Queen Maeve and her cattle raids, the children of Lear.
I guess I'm waiting for Emmett to get back.
Too long to get into.
Oh, sorry, I'm here. I was a false alarm. My wife actually is still waiting for the ride. So
Okay.
Rough Krogan and Oinuk, I don't think counting those as separate is fair if they're right beside each other. Yeah. Medivh and the cattle raid, sure, but it also goes like all the way into Ulster. Actually, the majority of the fighting's like more in southern Ulster. I honestly do not know where the Chosen of Lear is positioned. It's like a 15th century story and not a heroic cycle text. I read
Fair.
it before. Don't remember where it takes place. I would presume the other coast though.
Let's.
It would be in Keating, I think.
Apparently, there is a part of it that takes place, in Ishglare?
Folklore.
So, here, let me pull. I'm wiki crutching, but,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's tech. Yeah, it's in Galaxy, sure. Interesting.
notably, not
I mean-
all of it's in.
Yeah, it's also not for the audience. It's not a mythology story. Or it's not a mythology. It is a It depends on how you define mythology, but it's not ancient because the character Lear is an invention of monks who seem to have lost track of. Essentially, there's a character named Manor MacLear who's probably originally a sea deity. His name literally means the little man from the Isle of Man. But the MacLear element while it is a patronymic, it's not technically a patronymic. It's a metaphoric use of a patronymic to designate profession, which we do see elsewhere in early medieval texts. So we see Sons of Life to refer to monks, Sons of Death refers to raiders. Son of the Sea is saying he's a fisherman. His actual dad's name is Alod, which is spelled like that, Allod. But this seems to be lost track of by monks, and they go, "Oh God, we were missing our character," and Lear becomes an independent figure rather than a metaphor.
Incredible. My favorite. And of course, that means if anyone tells you, "Oh, but the monks suppressed it," it's like, no, they panicked about it because they thought they didn't have a complete list.
Yeah, they thought that was cool. They were like, "We want to be trendy like the classical world."
We want to be so trendy and hip and with it, and oh no, we forgot somebody. They did not, in fact.
Literally, the longest text in medieval Irish, Ogul na Shanarach, is written as an argument against two things. Essentially, it's written in the 13th century when Rome is starting to essentially pay more close attention to what the Irish are doing, going, "You guys absolutely cannot do some of those things." So one of the big ones is the Irish of divorce. That's
yeah.
not okay.
Yeah, the Rome gets a little bit excited about that idea, huh?
The other thing is Rome says your monastics are writing all these lay narratives. That's not appropriate. And Ogul na Shanarach is a contemporary monastic. It's a story arguing that no, it's okay and correct to write old stories down because they're good and entertaining, and that people of the past, even if they are pagans, still have virtue to them. and that St. Patrick got a special good little boy okay permission slip by God to write these stories down, so it's okay.
True.
This fails, and the monastic orders on Ireland are destroyed. But
Dang it.
they, like the Irish monks, legitimately were like, no, this is fine.
Yeah.
We should be allowed to do this.
Incredible. No, I do love St. Patrick has a good little boy pass. That's my favorite thing.
Certainly worth a read in the very well stocked library here. If you find yourself bored. Not that I can see that happening with the seance only hours away.
That's an extremely suspicious thing to say.
Does anything of the pre-Christian site still exist?
Of course you'd be asking that, Lorcan.
Oh, I don't think so, I'm afraid. From what I can gather, it was all razed to make way for the castle and its estate.
I read one monk's account that what was here before was partially underground.
You've done your homework, Father. Yes, some accounts do suggest that, though none of the maps I've studied show anything useful. Marquess?
There are some sinkholes on the far reaches of the grounds, where caverns beneath the old settlements collapsed in. I do not know whether those collapses are the result of time, or if they were manually closed.
Huh.
I suppose it matters not either way. Nothing else remains.
Well, there you go, Father.
Very,
That's
very,
me,
very
I'm
Percy Bryce
afraid.
Shelley.
I've nothing else
Right?
to share. Probably quite mundane in the face of everything, but nothing wrong with a break in the face of madness.
Uh-huh. And why is a jeweler from London being very suspiciously well aware of the pre-Christian site? Simon? No? Okie doke. Hey, Lorcan, I've got bad news for you.
Yeah.
I have spoken with Mr. Doyle. Well, I know you two are working on something here at the Manor, but he has decided to remove himself from the task. What did we figure out what was going on with the disparity in his wife's names? He made her the fuck up. Seems to be the working theory. He asked me to pass this message on to you. I see, I suspected as much. I knew him, you know. I married his parents and baptized him as a baby. He was a good boy, a devout boy. I asked him to help with some church business, but I did not know what this place would do to him. He's changed, lost, and I see that now and accept I did that to him by sending him here. I understand and respect his need to be free. Hopefully he will return in time on his own terms. And your task? I will try to carry on alone, I suppose. Humanity will not save itself, and Jesus had no company upon his cross.
He very
Wait,
famously
didn't-
had
didn't
two
he
other
infamously-
people there with him.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Quite, Honest thief erasure. Right? Is to save humanity by freeing an Aeon.
From the Black Iron prison.
I think, yeah.
Father Sinnott believes he can save humanity here. I should find and confront him about this.
Yeah. Lorcan, I have like 8 more things to
Yes.
talk to you about. First, God, that's such a suspicious thing. Ay. Father, I was wondering if I might ask something of you. I couldn't tell you without knowing what it is you'd asked me. The cook, Miss Murphy, has a little girl who was taken into custody by a Magdalene Laundry shortly after birth. She's anxious for news of her. I said I would ask on her behalf. There is so much suffering in this life, is there not? Why is it that God allows a child to be taken from her mother? Is that bond not God's plan? Is it not sacred? What agents of the divine are we that we would do something so vile? I hate that I'm agreeing with Lorcan. Y'all, it feels so bad that I'm like, yeah, Lorcan, Mr. Doing murder is fine, Mrs. Joyce. Is going like, yep, Magdalene laundries are a crime against all that is good and holy. Are we agents of the divine at all? What you ask is outside of my power or influence, at least as you would ask it. I would end her suffering, all suffering, in my own way. But it is no use to her here now. No one's right to say that she will not see that child again by conventional means, Mr. Ward. But we are surrounded by unconventional people, are we not? Maybe one of them has a way to see what cannot normally be seen. Now go with God and help that poor girl. Fief Callahan.
Who is fortunately also in the room.
Who is fortunately also right here.
If you have worked all that out, then you understand, yes?
I believe I do.
You know what lies deep beneath this complex, and
He
what
is
needs to be
he is a
done.
heretic, Sacerdos. Like
He's a full-blown Gnostic.
I
Good, good. For the mind is willing, but the body is weak. I was unsure I could do this alone.
oh yeah, Mrs. Joyce was going to brain Carmela Mantovani with a stone cross during the seance, and Father Lorcan said that was fine, actually.
But no, we cannot discuss this here. Come to my room.
Dang it.
I have no idea how an Aeon came to be trapped under this complex, but nothing else explains all the strange behavior here. Ghosts? What are ghosts? A breaking of the fundamental rules of the universe. Time marches on, entropy moves forward, life becomes death. But here, it is riddled with ghosts and other aberrations. Why? Because the Aeon's presence warps reality around it. Think, child. It is a being of pure creation, absolute power.
I enjoy Lorcan suddenly going full Lovecraft protagonist sorcerer on us.
Right? This is very
He's been
good.
such a frail old man this whole time, so him reacting with like manic energy is fantastic.
There was a question, is entropy no? It is 1890 something, so I believe yes. First described in thermodynamics in 1850. So, with previous things earlier in the century. So the idea that I'm sure the idea that it yeah, and the term is defined in 1860, or the name entropy is given to it in 1865. So yes, and all classic cutting-edge scientific things, occultists look at that and go, ah yes, what if that but for souls? So I'm gonna go with yes, that's fine.
Why then can't it leave? Why indeed? It must be trapped. Trapped like us in the black iron prison. Perhaps by the demiurge itself. Whatever the reason,
Wow,
we must free it.
He's full sending it.
I know how.
Yeah.
Many good believers died to help me bring this magic up from the
What?
cold, dark depths of the Eisressenwelt caverns.
What were you
What?
doing in Austria?
Huh? What? Why are you going glacier caving in Austria? What?
Lorcan, why is your hand on your buttons? I don't
so out of place
know.
in
This is
Austria.
nothing
had a
good is
fever
going to come
dream.
of this.
This is not. Yeah. Yeah. So so for anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's a ice cave in kind of central Austria, right where the Austria has like that really long tail, right at the end of that tail. So and it's new. Oh, they're going with it being an entrance of hell. Duh.
Miles inside its interior, I saw an altar of ice. The answer, I knew, was there. We left at once, but it took months of digging, climbing, and searching to find the frozen shrine, buried far beyond what von Postlet-Zorich had discovered of the caves.
Uh-huh.
It was not so grand now, having melted after who knows how long. But there I found it. Behold! The Aeon Killing Sigil!
What?
Sure, my dude.
Huh?
Oh, okay. You're going to have to explain that one a little harder.
Raid
my
that
dude.
yeah. Also, thank you, Bree, for the raid with your 14 party of 14. Welcome on in, everyone. So, very quickly for all of Bree's folks, hi, I'm Adam. I'm a museum curator who streams all sorts of historical games. And so, in addition to this, we're playing Assassin's Creed Origins right now. But then, today we are finishing the Seance of Blake Manor, which means we are in 19th century Ireland currently, apparently trying to kill an Aeon, which is a Gnostic being of creation that definitely can't be killed like that. Yeah. So I am joined by friends. Watcher, Arcanist, would you like to introduce yourselves one more time for all the raiders who just came in?
For sure. My name is Emmett Taylor, or Watcher online. I am a postdoctoral lecturer in the Department of Early and Medieval Irish at UCC. I'm a specialist in early Irish heroic literature and the reception of early Irish material in modern pop culture.
And my name's Nicholas. I go by Arcanist on Discord. I'm a hobbyist historian who focuses on the history of magic.
Amazing. So, yeah, we are currently in the very end game of the Seance of Blake Manor, which is my game of the year for 2025. So, like, if you need to raid and run to avoid spoilers, totally get it. But otherwise, we are deep into some of the late game things, and currently we have a Gnostic priest thinking he can do things I think are heretical even by the standards of Gnosticism.
He's currently arguing to kill an Aeon, which I
Yeah,
think is a thing you should notionally be able to do.
Bree, I reverted the Windows update because it's fucking up all sorts of stuff. So I would simply uninstall that one and go back to the December update because, yeah.
Worry not, child. I see the look in your eye. The fear of killing such a being. But you can only kill its mortal shell, that which is used to anchor it to this place. In truth, all you will do is set it free. And once freed, it will return to Monad and tell them of this place, this realm of rotten debauchery.
Annoyingly, that is one of our sigils that we can actually use for
Once
stuff.
the true God knows of us and our plight in this prison, and of our dedication and kindness in freeing its Aeon,
Jocasta, we got paid £100.
it will save us. And we
Lorcan,
will be free.
Lorcan, buddy, I feel like you've misunderstood the texts because, like, that already happened, my dude. That was Jesus.
That was Jesus. That was fully Jesus.
It's God. Trust a frickin' 19th century Gnostic.
Why are you telling me this?
To reinvent rapture theology from base principles.
Honestly, iconic.
I am not sure I have much left in me at all. And now, Seamus is gone. You know of the Aeon, the prison, our condemnation here, and now you have the sigil. Perhaps you can succeed where Seamus and I have failed. Go, child. Find the Aeon and free it. Free us all.
Oh.
Okay, so to explain, Space Nerd, about Gnosticism, I'll do a quick crash course of that. Okay, so Gnostics believe that.
Sorry, could we get through this and then I'll have a lot of running around to do where you can just yap.
I do not think
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
This evening
Yeah.
in me.
Oh. Well, just that sort of worked. Why did that work? Alright.
Huh.
Prison is a bit of a stretch. That sigil, though. Father Sinon seems convinced it was designed to kill an Aeon. It looks so similar to those I've found throughout this house. I assumed these sigils were some form of Irish pagan magic. But how did this one end up in Austria for Father Sinon to find?
Well, that actually could still be Celtic. Just it would be really early, like really,
Yeah.
really early,
Yeah,
like Hallstatt era.
This seems no translated as release. Interesting. But I'm not able to talk to anyone about it. So, I guess that's just the thing we need for Endgame to, stop Goivnu? Cool, that'll be fine. Yeah, so, Gnosticism. Floor is yours.
Yes, Gnosticism. Okay, so there's a lot of different sects of Gnosticism, but all of them agree that the world sucks. And that the world, therefore, if it does suck, could not have been created by an all-loving, all-benevolent creator. And therefore, that means that religion as we understand it is a crock. The earliest Gnostic that we know of was Marcion of Sinope, who was a giga heretic who believed that the only true gospel was one of his redaction that he wrote himself, the Pauline epistles, and Matthew 5. Only Matthew 5 for some reason.
What a weird specificity.
Because it's a repudiation of the law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Marcion believed that Jewish understanding of religion was a horrible lie from the false deity, the demiurge, that created reality and imprisoned us all here, and that Jesus was sent by the true God. Other Gnostics of different sects believed that Jesus was himself an Aeon or the spirit of an Aeon possessing a dude. There's a lot of different versions. You've got Incarnation Jesus, who is most similar to the Catholic Christology of Jesus, where he is fully God and fully man. You've got Hijacked by Jesus Christology, where the Aeon is possessing the mortal Yeshua ben Yosef. And then when he dies during the crucifixion, the Aeon just fucks off. And that's why he cries out, Eli, Eli, crap, I forget the Aramaic. My God, why have you abandoned me? Because the Aeon literally just up and left. And then Yeshua spends the next 40 days really frickin' confused because he lost the last 3 years of his life. Which is understandable to be in distress about this.
Yeah. But what a way to wake up of like, I just lost 3 years of life, and also I am suffocating to death because crucifixion sucks so much.
Crucifixion sucks so much. There's also versions where the Christ entity is an illusion. And Jesus did not in fact die, and that's why he couldn't carry the cross, and so it was, yes, thank you, Space Nerd. And where he does not in fact die because the body is a hologram. Yeah, hologram Jesus. And so instead, Simon of Cyrene is crucified instead. This version of Jesus doesn't care enough to resurrect Simon as a solid for dying in his place. So Simon just straight up dies horribly because he was trying to be like, offer some compassion to a man executed to die, condemned to die, which is kind of horrible. The degree to which the Gnostic Aeons care about the world as a thing that's real varies dramatically, because there's 3 grades of humanity. You've got the Hillix, who are all base, no spiritual. They're essentially pea zombies, and so they don't really matter. They're just soulless creations of the demiurge. You've got the Psychics, who are the people who can become the elect, who have an inkling of spirituality to them that will escape the world in their death. And then you've got the pneumatics, who are the chosen ones with great spiritual insight and power, and they've got more soul stuff in them.
Uh-huh.
Do you think you'd be able to leave Miss
I mean,
Murphy
they did
in
use the
Wells
boards,
Company?
they just erased it afterward.
It would do her good to see her daughter. But the Magdalen Laundry that took her child, they won't share any information.
We're actually on the board that we saw. I'm pretty sure we do have the specific location of Blake Manor. Which is interesting.
Me at the well.
I think it's Cromwell's landing site and where he goes.
Oh, that'd do it.
There you are.
Yeah.
Come here now. Have you done this before, Alanov? No, miss. I've never... I didn't know it would really work. Does it?
Gritmer, we will get to that question once we get through this cutscene. Because I
I
think
like
there's a good
Varley
question.
being here and being
Come
supportive.
here and stand
Right?
beside me. You'll want to look
Varley
into the
was
well
fighting tooth and nail
and try and
for
get your thoughts
Saoirse.
calm. Take all the time you need.
Yeah, I would say dog and cat, probably, yes.
Deep breaths. There.
Oh,
Because I don't think Raccoon
ha-
exists,
Now just
so,
think about your
have me after the Aeon
Do
discussions.
your
Remind
best
me to
get your
specifically
heart
talk
in
about that.
mind.
yes.
I'm gonna go
course.
grab some stuff.
Incredible.
Look at that. There you go. That's her? She has your eyes, does she not?
Aww.
She looks all right. She looks well. Oh, I was so worried.
Okay, so about Varley looking supportive.
Varley is the most sinister good guy imaginable in this game.
I hope you'll get to see her again someday. But until then, I can show you how to do this for yourself too. You know, you... Really? I've no words. That'd be... Thank you. So it's no trouble at all, sweetheart.
Incredible. Yeah, he does nothing. He's completely fine. He just looks incredibly sus. To love that child so much, you scarcely met her before they were separated. Separated in God's name. Did the Lord not die for our sins? Aw.
It doesn't ease the hurt in my heart to see her. But it does with the guilt. I didn't know how heavy that was sitting on my soul. Now that I know she's okay, I think I can rest.
Why don't you take some time, Miss Murphy, and rest? I think we can handle the seance without you.
He's such a good guy.
If you're sure, sir. I do feel weary from all this.
Miss Murphy will no longer be attending the seance. Will continue her studies in magic under Miss Callahan. So, that leaves one person.
I'm okay with Simon Coventry dying.
Honestly, same. So, as we're walking back from the well out in the middle of nowhere, Aeons?
Yes, Aeons. This dude got the high-level summary of it, which is that Aeons are emanations of the one true God. I am going to go into a little more detail on this because it's fun.
Yeah.
So, the general idea of Gnosticism is that it's Neoplatonic. It's Neoplatonic and it's emanationist. So the Neoplatonists had the idea that the true creator entity, the monotheistic one point from which all things emerge, the monad, is so complete and so perfect as to essentially not be an entity. You can't be described. It can't be described, and it can't really act because. I go no.
What on earth? What did I just see? Was that? I did. Sorry, I didn't expect Ogni to just show up. Anyway, continue.
Yes. Monad emanations. It's so complete and so perfect that it can't really act or exist in a way that's interactable. So in order to interact with the world, the monad emanates different entities from itself that are in descending order less complete, less powerful, but also less perfect. And so traditionally in Neoplatonist emanationism, the first emanation is the demiurge. And in Neoplatonic thought that isn't strictly Gnostic, the demiurge isn't necessarily evil. It's just the force that creates the world. It is the active counterpart of the monad. And that it changes. So in some Neoplatonic theologies, Zeus is a demiurgic figure because he creates the world, or at least in some versions of Neoplatonic emanationism, Zeus is a demiurgic figure that creates the world. Or in Orphism, seizes that demiurgic power from Thanes, the original creator and king of the universe, which is a whole other thing that I would get sidetracked babbling about. But aeons are specifically these manifestations. And in Valentinian, Sethian, and Bertaian Gnosticism, which are all Syrian Egyptian Gnostic schools, the aeons are typically paired entities. So they are arranged in group pairs called syzygies, and they are typically masculine and feminine paired. In the more popular and well-known Gnostic cosmologies, Sophia, the emanation of wisdom, the figure known as wisdom, that is associated with the Shekinah, the presence of the divine, as well as the Holy Spirit, it creates the physical universe in an unauthorized way by playing with the primal matter of the primordial ocean, and she gets trapped in the physical world and creates an unauthorized child, the demiurge, which she hides from her counterparts. And she has to then be rescued by her destined mate, the Christ spirit, which is a whole thing.
Yeah, that sounds like that's getting complicated fast.
It gets really complicated really fast. The thing about emanationism is that it's recursive complete, so it doesn't actually matter how many emanations there are. Because you can always insert more emanations. It just makes there can always be an argument that there is more. So the Gnostic school that believed in Abraxas as a figure, as an archonic figure, ascribed 365 successive universes, each with their own angels and archons and all this sort of thing, and that we are in the lowest and least important and least spiritual universe, and that there's now 364 universes layered on top of ours. So the number of aeons can go from like a relatively reasonable amount of like, I don't know, like 3 maybe, because you've got the demiurge, you've got Sophia, and you've got the Christ spirit. Yeah. There's only really 3 that matter in most theologies, but other Gnostic theologies can have over a dozen. And the degree to which these are agentive figures varies wildly. So yeah, the aeons are emanations of the divine, which are themselves functions of the universe, and the degree to which they are person-shaped and able to take action varies wildly. And generally speaking, the more close to the source of all things they are perceived to be, the less person-shaped and less able to act craft they are imagined to be.
Okay. Interesting.
So that is the crash course on Aeons in an unfocused, rambly way. I feel like I explained this better in one of the earlier streams.
No, I think
That's
it made
all right.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And Watcher,
So-
you were going to talk about the dog and cat skulls.
Yes. If this is intentional, this is devastatingly clever. Looking at one of the early Irish texts, the wound of Aideen, a lot of stuff's happened, essentially 3 narratives in one. But our guy named Jochiz has had his wife stolen by a supernatural man named Mithir. There's a whole reason for this. Mithir is probably justified. It's technically all Mithir's wife. The woman Aideen has been stuck in a reincarnation situation. So, paragraph 16. They dug up Sheath von Thin, and a certain person comes forth and told them that the woman, Aideen, was not there. The king of the elf mounds of Ireland, he is the man who came to you. He is in his royal stronghold with the young woman. Set out thither until ye come to it. So what's happened is Jochiz, the king who's looking for his wife, has been ripping open the Sheatha of Ireland, and this is, you do not do that. He's actively invading the other world, or the realm of the supernatural people. So they go forward, and they began to dig up the elf mound. They were there a year and 3 months at it. What they would dig up one day would be restored on the morrow. 2 white ravens went forth from the mound to them, and there came 2 hounds, Skleith and Savar. They went south again to Sheath von Thin. They began to dig the elf mound. One comes forth to them and said, "What hast thou against us, O Jochiz?" says he. So essentially, he's been trying to dig up this one mound. It's not working. He goes back to the first mound that gave him some vague instructions and starts trying to break into there again. And they send somebody out to go, "What are you doing, dude?" We have not taken thy wife. No injury has been done to thee. Beware of saying aught that may be harmful for a king. So, stop trying to break into our house. We haven't done anything. Be careful what you say next. I will not go hence, says Jochiz. I'm not going to leave here till you tell me how I may attain my wife. Take blind whelps, take blind puppies with thee, and blind cats, and leave them. That is the work thou must do every day. Turn them away, that is done by them in this manner, they said about it. So, there's something to do with puppies and kittens, and sacrificing them to break into a Sheatha. Now, this is something quite similar is found in Sanas Korvach, a early, probably 9th century glossary where supposedly this one bishop, Cormac, is writing stuff down. And on a description of Imbus Forosna, a divinatory practice, we are told, "Thus it is done. That is to say, the poet chews a piece of the flesh of a red pig or of a dog or a cat and puts it then on the flagstone behind the door." Open bracket from Emmet. We have no idea what this door is. Close bracket. And sings an incantation over it and offers it to idol gods. And his idols are brought to him, and he finds them not on the morrow. And he sings spells over his 2 palms, and his idol gods are again brought to him, lest his sleep should be disturbed. And he puts his 2 palms about his 2 cheeks and falls asleep. And people are watching him, so that none may disturb nor awake him, till everything which is about to be revealed to him, until the end of a novus. This is a really old translation. You probably do know what that word is. Or 2 or 3, or as long as he is supposed to be. And therefore, it is called imbus, that is to say, his 2 palms, theos, about him. That is to say, a palm over azu, a palm over the other, about the side of his cheeks. So the latter half of that doesn't matter. What matters is you're taking the flesh of a pig, a dog, or a cat, and you're putting it behind a door, probably the door to a Sheatha. So using this in a divinatory system, perfect. Using it to interface with the other world, perfect. Like if this is intentional, it is very clever. Because this is not super widespread throughout public knowledge. All right, we can return to the game because there's obviously plot afoot.
There's there is and there isn't. Right at this point, we appear to be as far along as we can get until 8 o'clock. So I think at this point it'd say go talk to everyone and be like, "Hey, how you doing? You're gonna be okay? What comes next for you?" And then we fast forward a bit. So, yeah. Would he have been different had the accident not happened? His mother was certainly more social than I. Perhaps he would have learned some of that from her. So, we're just gonna kind of catch up. We've got lots of time and lots of things that we can talk to people about. But, yeah. Seems strange she appeared. Master Ward, I have no peers. This is my land and my coin. I will make use of it in any way I wish. Let the babbling masses complain. It only serves to highlight how little they understand. Don't dare to understand. I took over the titles and lands when my father died in the mid-1860s. The manor was over 200 years old then and needed much work. But the famine did not leave a lot of spare funds, so I opened the place as a hotel to help finance the renovations. This was in the spring of 1870. The work is never ending, so we stay open. It wasn't for that reason alone. It's nice to have people here. When I was young, there were more of us. And I'm told in my grandfather's time and before that, there were many families under the roof. It was not made to sit here idle. It is good for the house to have life in it. I actually agree with him. That feels weird. These last few years have not been easy, but that will all be in the past soon. New day, a new chapter, is only hours away. Show you, Mr. Ward, neither was I, but these things, rituals I mean, have, well, rituals. You mean to say this is part of the seance? Part of the preparation for it, yes. The night we performed the seance, boy, I've been hurtling towards it for some time now. With the ball, we crossed onto one of the final thresholds, the point of no
If you'll
return.
excuse me.
Of course.
Rituals. So yeah, question again for people who have solved it. Is there anything with Lorcot's sigil that we can do until endgame?
Mr. Ward.
Discuss evidence. Reflection.
I think it's safe to say your methods worked.
Well, yes.
Great.
But also no. We succeeded. Not through my methods, but through
Fabulous.
Fia's and mine. There is a lesson there for me. I was too focused on the future.
Don't get tech bro.
But when we
Bubbled.
forget the past, we don't learn from it.
Okay, but like, hold up a sec. Pet peeve. Oh no, you hit the alert. I hate the, those who, don't know the past are doomed to repeat it. I hate that saying. I think it's useless. I think it's probably worse than useless. Because quite clearly having a history degree does not, give you a sense of ethics. So, like,
And some people knowing the past are actively or believing they know the past actively attempts to do it again.
exactly. So this is a pet peeve of mine. This is not why you study the past. Right? There are not lessons for the future, in any convenient, easy to do things. You study the past because it helps you care about other perspectives. And that understanding is good in and of itself. Also, is funky and gives you new blorbos. Based.
And we repeat the mistakes of it.
See?
And we only got there because you stepped in. I'm grateful, of course, but also deeply ashamed that I might have let my duty to the land and its people down because of ego. So in all, I'm proud of what we achieved here. I'm proud of what it's taught me.
Uh-huh.
And if you will do me the honor,
Yeah!
I am proud to call you a friend.
Trauma
No,
bonding!
Doctor, is all mine.
Trauma bonding! Trauma bonding!
I have to be on my way.
Be well.
Ah, Declan.
Hello.
Satisfied?
Oh, gods, no.
Good on you,
The
Rory.
seance is still going ahead. Damage will still happen. But we've protected the well. And I think a rift between Rory and I is mended. Declan. I'm so proud of him.
Rare sentence. Irish aunt being proud of somebody.
What a fool I was to be such a stick in the mud. I should have trusted his new ways. And, in doing so, had faith in myself as a teacher. I guess one always worries they've not done enough to prepare their young'uns. But you have to let them fly, I suppose. And Rory, he soared.
True. After all this, Declan needs to get the gang together for that road trip to Italy. Can we have the good doctor along with us? We're going to do the grand tour, and only do, like, a little bit of business on the way. We're going to, like, maximum rich American, or rich Londoner, thing of go bumble around coastal Italy for, like, 4 weeks, and pretend that that makes us very cultured and stuff. Oh, yes, Tyrnanor. Oh, the gods, Declan, and not just the gods, the fair folk are dead too. It's sort of underneath us and it isn't, as is the way of such places. But is there enough that coming and going is possible through passageways found at places of great power once the day is dark? Caverns like Oenagat, or cairns of important people, or dolmens. Significant ways under, down, and through. What do you have about the two other Dodanen? They're all around us in the hills, the rivers, and the valleys, and just below the surface where the other place can sometimes be found. You know, just below the surface. How far under the surface?
Great question. Mighty Baron can't decide, because either it's nearby or, I don't know, are they the antipodes? Maybe.
Incredible. On
They're
the other
over
side of the
there.
planet.
Yep.
They're somewhere between 6 inches underground and the other side of the planet.
There's a saint who commits heresy, or is accused of heresy in Germany for this. Saint Virgil of Salzburg is an Irish guy, and someone writes a letter to the Pope and says that he has to be excommunicated. But based on the fact that he doesn't and becomes a saint, he seems to have gotten away with it. But yeah, he was just going like, "There's magic people in the hills," and all the locals were like, "Whoa, hold on."
Oops. I like that when I'm angry with a god, I can go to their house and yell at them.
You should not do that. They are not nice.
They are not nice.
As we've seen, you can go bother them, but you have to kill some puppies and kittens.
True.
They are not inclined to respond to criticism well.
No, they are.
So you
mean.
kill some puppies and kittens for the privilege to go get stabbed by a god because they couldn't accept your feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Love it. Smithing god, same as Breed. My understanding is his work focused more on war, weapons and armor, where her work was more for daily tasks. Or she used tools,
That's
pots,
not-
and the like. No?
Another thing.
Not a thing.
Breich, we are told in Cormac's glossary, actually, which we were just talking about, we were told that there are 3 sisters named Breich. One is a patron of poets, one a patron of smiths, one a patron of physicians. I am always quick to point out that you have deities who are patrons of things that are not that thing. So, Sakrados will probably remember, one of the examples I tend to use for this is, I'm going to mispronounce his name, but Hachiman over in Japan, while he's a patron of warriors, as a Buddhist figure, doesn't want warriors, doesn't want to be a warrior, but feels this kind of this connection to these people who are compelled to do this behavior that is bad.
Yeah. Didn't go. I wasn't about to head to a thing like that. I was playing cards with the staff for most of it. Costumes were something else, though. I'll give you all that. Incredible. Honestly, based.
Yeah. That's a good narrative way to also not have her there, because she would be too useful to have had there.
Uh-huh.
We still don't know 2 people. Look at that.
We still, one of them has got to be Walter Blake.
Yeah,
Other
I
one
guess
is
the other.
probably Evelyn.
It's got to be
Or
Evelyn
Floyd.
Dean and
Oh,
Walter
Evelyn.
Blake, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
St. Barbara protects firefighters is not a firefighter. Isn't she about being
That's
like
actually
as
a way better
opposite?
example.
Isn't that about as opposite of a firefighter? Didn't she get burned to death? Cool. Shadowy figure. No, no, they couldn't have done it. I wonder that nothing good will come from that seance. It's not a ghost, that's for sure. They only come in one size. Thrown from a window. Well, that's... okay, well, okay. Reasons. Yeah, welcome on the Twata. It don't look like me like a peckless cow, Declan. The Twata Titanen. The old god's gone from our plane to the other world, but sure. What kind of god can't walk around among its people every... well, the ones that are dead sure can't.
You take care now, Declan. And don't forget to
Also,
get a bite to
they
eat
didn't get
into you.
sealed. People in the audience, don't refer to them as the Tuatha. That's just saying, like, peoples. That's a Tuath, which is Tuatha in the singular, is the base unit of social organization in medieval Ireland. You could translate it as kingdom, but you probably shouldn't.
Okay.
If just call them the day or the Tuath day, or I don't know. Don't call them these are the Shida. No, that word means hill. These are the Aishida. People
They're
of the
hills.
Yeah, polity is not a bad one.
They're just hills.
What do you think you'll do when the seance is over?
I have what I came for, and more. I only hope to learn my father's name, but to see him. And now I have the inheritance from quarantine? This is more than a fresh start I came here hoping for. And I like it here. I like knowing that I am in my father's homeland, and I have met some people that I might one day call friends.
Yeah.
Forever? Who knows? This event has changed my world. And I need time to process all of that. But all that matters is right now, yes? And right now, I'm happy here. I have
I'm so happy that
and a
these two
home. I cannot ask for more.
managed to, like, tag team their things.
I have.
Sure.
You know? Trauma bonding sticks again, yeah!
How's the day treating you?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Oh,
Who's worse, Evelyn Dean or Alistair Crowley? Alistair Crowley has the
Okay.
was a real person buff, but,
yeah. Aleister Crowley has the real person buff and also has lasting real world influence on magic, mysticism, and theology. Case in point, the Ordo Templis Orientalis and the Thelema Society and a couple other filial groups descended from those organizations are still around. Though in ceremonial magician circles, the OTO is notorious for not actually letting anyone ever do any actual magic, and you tend to get thrown out for doing magic on your own, unauthorized by the higher-ups of the order, to the point that some ceremonial magicians consider that graduating from the OTO. Which is very funny. Evelyn is definitely more destructive on the personal scale. Crowley is worse so to society at large.
yeah. I was definitely paying attention and not agreeing with Amit that Quarantine, despite not being the canonical lesbians in this game, sure looks like it.
She is one of the cool Hellboy protagonists of this game.
Oh, don't worry, it's clean. I stained enough of my clothes not to make that mistake again. I take it you're not often with that one. I'm a poet by trade. I prefer to carry one so I'm never caught with a refrain, or such like, and without the means to write it down. Also, so many buttons. So look, the lesbians in chat agree honorary lesbian. Like, there we go. What is... hang on, So, here's the thing, right? Quarantine needs this new technology, because there's a 10-year-old interesting technology known as the ballpoint pen. It was developed in first invented in 1888 for the first patent for it. And so when we don't have, you know, the modern proliferation of it, if you're well connected enough, you could go, and get a fairly inefficient, kind of useless ballpoint pen. Sadly, they won't become widespread until after World War II, and therefore you're still gonna risk pens exploding and staining all your everything.
I'll leave you.
Okay.
We meet again, Mr.
Reflection. What are you going to
How
be
do you
up to?
feel about your decision?
It does not give me the same clearness of path as my original plans did.
Uh-huh.
But there is relief in no longer facing my end at the seance tonight.
Yeah?
Perhaps I was too eager for a grand gesture, a final attempt at success. I think this is a better path to my goal.
Aw.
It's not that far from what I do, after all, except, and this is the funny bit, you don't expect a loan to be paid back. I grew up thinking of that as a handout, but now I see it as a transaction. I pay money to buy legacy. Don't
Whatever
look
helps
at
you
me
sleep
like
at night,
that,
man.
Mr. Ward. The Catholics have been buying their way into heaven for centuries. This is the same thing, but in a different hat. An old leopard can't change his spots.
Honestly,
At least not right away.
as far as it goes, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
But who knows?
You know,
Maybe
you
my
know, I'm
mind
just
reads and
remembering
heart
that one
follow.
story about the man who
And
decides
if
to
we
build an
all get our
orphanage,
needs met,
and then he
who
goes to
cares
his
what the
rabbi and he goes, "Rabbi,
underlying intentions,
I
eh?
think I'm only building an orphanage because I want to be thought of as a good man." And the rabbi goes, "What do the orphans care?"
Yeah. Yeah. And if we all get our needs met, who cares what the underlying intention is? Doing good, to some extent, is doing good.
Good day, Mr.
Good day.
Now, do I wish you had less generational trauma, that you thought of wealth as innate good, and that any form of charity is a handout? Yes. Has Sigmund Freud invented the field of psychotherapy? No. Does literally
He
everyone
might
in
take
this
it.
room... Does anyone in this room need to go talk to Sigmund Freud's stat? Probably. Look, he's not good, but he's the best you guys have, so, good luck. I guess we need to just burn a couple minutes to get to the next hour to wrap up. Talking to everyone, getting the final reflections. Random stuff, random stuff. Random stuff. Exactly, if you had more billionaires building theaters, literally, you know, truth. That's how we know we live in, like, the important difference between the Gilded Age and the era of robber barons and the present moment is at least Carnegie and Rockefeller built libraries and theaters fucking everywhere.
Lorenzo il Magnifico Medici did at least give a crap about Florence being a nice place because he lived in Florence.
Right? Fucking current robber barons, don't even have the level of dignity that, fucking John Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie had, for building things that didn't totally suck all the time. Instead, we have to deal with what if that, but they're just harvesting our data. I mean, heck, in my town, my local public library, I think, is a Carnegie construction. Lesbians? Lesbians. Look at that, they're in the library. That's how we know that they are.
Hello?
Just want to know what you're going to be up to. You know?
How are you feeling now that the situation is resolved?
Of course, I am thrilled with the outcome,
Uh-huh.
but I am less thrilled with my behavior.
Yeah.
I could blame a lot of it on Miss Dean, or this house, maybe even just the time of year or the event itself. But my training works against me here. I have to own my anger, frustration, and mistakes from this past week.
The one character who doesn't need therapy. We found them.
I have some work to do to regain Ivy's trust. It's possible I never will. But
Don't be so down on
even if I
yourself,
lose her,
Victoria. I'm sure you'll be okay.
She will be free. And that is worth everything. So thank you.
Aww. Aww. I'm sure as you well looked after. It was very kind of him to make these for us. He's always been so good to Ivy. I'm a little honored to be included, I think.
That's all, Mrs.
Farewell, Mr.
You do realize this means Dad has approved of the marriage. This is
This is
just-
true.
This is going ahead.
This is true.
I hope you have some peace now.
You, sir, have no idea. My sight, my second sight, it's not quite back to me yet, but I don't need it to say how lucky I am. I know Victoria acted, well,
Look, they'll be
she
fine.
acted, and she made mistakes,
They'll be fine.
as did I. And chasing a husband without discussing it with her. And what that could mean for us.
The lesbians don't need a therapist. They're gonna be fine. Everyone else still does.
I'm still coming to terms with it, I think.
Oh.
That someone so dear to me could break my trust. But I also know she wasn't entirely herself. And her haste bought my freedom too. I don't know what comes next for us, but that is a priceless gift. And Dara, dear sweet Dara, he trained me in the sight, you know. How to manage it, how to hide it from others. For him to be in this place when I needed him most, to have acted against Miss Dean and gotten us the key. And, of course, you, sir. You found the materials and returned them to us. You have given us a chance at a future together. And we will never forget that.
Aww.
Thank you.
Ah.
Derek Hunter saw this little girl and said, "Is anyone going to adopt that child, even though she already has parents?" and did not wait for an answer.
Correct. Mr. Hunter's always been so good to me. We'll wear these for the rest of the event, even just to set his mind at ease.
I'll let you be.
Take care.
I love them. Oh, of course the archaeologist is also here.
Orwa,
Mr.
good to
Ward,
see you.
You need to talk to me.
Hey, how you doing now that you're not trying to stab
How you
me?
feeling now?
I feel like myself again. Like when a cold has passed by. I am restored. But the face. What magic was that? How does something like that work? What did Wilhelmina get up to when she left here? Was it Nectanebo who had taken a hold of her body at the time? Or some Gin? And what damage have they done? I feel like these things may become my next obsession.
No, wait. Okay, we need to make a change here. Everything.
Orwa, please don't.
Yeah. I've not had much luck. What a terrible place. What things took place down there? What might be down there still? I've been drawing. It gets everywhere. It is useful for sketches of artifact shading, to manipulate the values of light and dark. But still, to never match the real thing. Uh-huh. Your headdress, Miss Hisham, does it carry any significance? It is a tarha. Headdresses are a symbol of my faith and devotion as a Sunni Muslim. I'm thinking perhaps you do not get so many of us over here. I must confess you would be the first I met of that ilk. Another customer who would be thrilled about the invention of the ballpoint pen. Go like, this would not be the first culture to employ the use of hallucinogens in their spiritual practice, and it will not be the last. Was I expecting Miss Dean warned me, but I do not drink, so I was not in danger of being poisoned. It was interesting, almost infectious to be among you all as the drugs took effect. I think I lost myself a little. The things people described seeing, dancing figures, a horned giant, old women watching from the rafters, I saw none of that. I am almost jealous.
I'll leave you be.
May Allah guide you.
Magistressa, don't you Mitchell jump scare me in my own stream. That's not okay of you. Anything you want to look up? Canopic jar, vase of nectar nebo, nothing right now. Psychology. Ah, nothing new right there. Yeah. I think we've done, like, everything we can actually do. It was just dreaming and lucid dreaming math. There wasn't even anything actually interesting. It was just dreams and lucid dreams. Where? Oh, boo. Right? If there was interesting stuff, I would have said something. But no. Missing. Yes, indeed. Well, I guess... Talk to Dara, see how he's feeling. Talk to Vincent, see how he's feeling. And then, do some time skips.
Mr. Ward.
Hello, how are you doing?
Miss McLeod is safe now.
Aye, safe and happy. And should this seance turn south, well, I've put everything I have into those charms. With some luck, we'll be safe.
Uh-huh.
You know, you'd not tell from looking at me now, but when I was a younger man, I carved fine cloth. Could dance.
What are you
too.
talking about, Doug?
Girls will make up
True.
any old excuse to come by the
Right,
stables I trained in back
what's
then.
this you'd not tell from looking at me now? Look at those cheekbones. And tell me that we cannot all see it.
Bench spoons, pots that looked recently bashed in, the odd bit of broken jewellery. I took it all for granted.
Mm-hmm.
I figured they'd wait, every one of them. But young'uns and young love don't live past spring. They all summered and moved on. Soon they had husbands, then weigh-ins of their own. I've never sighed. No children. Just didn't work out that way for me.
But Derek, maybe
It was
don't talk
November
about yourself
2nd,
like you're a stud.
1884,
Yeah.
I heard Mrs. McLeod
Yeah.
screaming from the big house. I grabbed something, hoof clippers I think, and ran. Figured it was a robbery. Instead, I found her hunched over a wee ivy. The child was having a seizure. Then, she sat bolt upright and said,
Huh.
and I'll never forget it, she said, "Pappy's gonna die tonight." Pappy
Huh.
being what she called her mother's father. The next day a constable came to the house, his hat under his arm. There had been an incident in the Star Theatre the night before.
Are they connecting the second side to epilepsy?
Some
It
drunk
appears
wrongly
so.
sounded the alarm of
Oh.
a small fire. 14 people died in their attempts to escape, including Pappy.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing that happened with shocking frequency of calling fire and then people getting trampled to death in the resulting panic. Happened way too often. And you know, that's why there's so many drills, and there has to be now super clearly marked signage for how to get out. Because, yeah.
Well,
I happen to be part of a group of fellows that are more open to
Yep.
the strangers.
That's a free speech case, and you fully can't do that because people did die because of it. And turns out free speech ends when people start dying.
And long story short, it was agreed that if I could help the girl with her gift, though her mother did not consider it that, then none of her siblings nor her father needed to know. A grand man, Mr. MacLeod, but God-fearing, to the extent that his wife worried he would turn out his only daughter.
Oh.
I am
So I
seeing
trained her.
some dovetailing.
In secret,
What?
of course. From the age of 6 until I left for here some 3 years past. She is the closest thing I have or will have to a daughter in this world, Mr. Ward. There is nothing I wouldn't do or get. God willing, someday you'll have children. I know love so strong.
Aww.
Because until then, you
Aww.
cannot understand how much I appreciate what you've done here.
This is so sweet! Those things you made for the ladies and yourself. All I know is charms and such, spines, wards, that sort. To fold them into, well, charms. The binding on Miss Dean, the charms for the ladies and myself. It's simple magic, Mr. Ward, but old and powerful. It will keep the young ladies safe from harm. Mine, they need some form of emotional component to them. I tried to make one for you, but, well, grateful as I am, I don't really know you, sir. I don't know Miss Lau truthfully, but my love for Ivy seemed to extend to cover her. I guess this is what makes magic different from science. With science, you do the same thing twice, and you should get the same result. Magic isn't predictable like that. It's, what would you call it? Alive? Some why folks might like myself or Fia think the seance is dangerous, not factoring in the magic of this place and how it feels about it all. Miss Montavani, she's maybe thinking just too scientifically about it all. I think I'm a madman for asking this, but have you ever seen a portal on the ground? Portal, like a window? Sorts, a portal to another... How do I put this? If you mean to say a portal to another world, then no, I've not seen nothing like that in my time here. If you saw one or think you did, I believe it. This place has secrets for sure, and is selective about who it shows them to. Alright, Isabel, see you later.
See ya.
There are catacombs beneath the house. Catacombs, really, filled with skeletons. No, there can't be. I know about something like that. I've been working here for years I wouldn't have missed. How could I miss that?
Oh, poor Derek.
Yeah. Doing his best, but these old houses take a lot of money to even keep upright, let alone turn a profit. Might be best you don't go spreading that around now, Mr. Ward. And be the guest. Wouldn't want the guest to be distracted from the guest at hand. Bleh. From the task at hand. Words are difficult. Do we know why you left the McLeods? We do not. Got a better offer? Got an offer that will get him paid more? I don't know. Hello.
May I be of...
Yeah, how you doing, bud?
What will you do now?
That all depends on what comes next. I do not know what to expect from this event, if anything. Perhaps they'll see an influx of guests and everything will be okay. But if not, there is money there to keep the place afloat and its occupants safe. Either way, I suspect we are all long due a holiday.
Uh-huh. So true. Yeah. Also, I just realized this is a tuck shirt.
I need not.
Certainly.
You cannot wait for this next sequence. Does that mean that it's a, I want to find Lloyd if I can. I have no idea where he is right now. Because he's being very unhelpful for like the rest of the evening.
We could always check the bar.
We could. Which direction is the bar? This way?
I think so. If it's not the bar, he might be in the hedge maze or the graveyard.
He has a tendency to be all over the damn place, so...
He wanders.
Oh, also
hello,
you.
Olivia.
Hello.
Mr. Ward,
Yes, I want to know how the
Do
murder's
you want
going.
to report me then? For murdering my husband?
Nah, he
I'm not
sucked.
a police officer. I'm not legally obliged to do so.
Declan really said he ate a snitch.
What about a moral one?
I know what happened between you. Do you? I can see how you ended up where you did.
For those who were not here for the last stream, Mr. Darcy was cheating on Olivia with Evelyn while she was mid miscarriage and then grieving that. So he just fully abandoned her to have an affair with Evelyn. And then after she murdered him, he haunted her and was like, hey, Olivia, murder Evelyn so I can have her forever.
Yeah, he sucked real bad. Also, Evelyn Dean sucks real bad.
Mr. Ward, it would have taken a mystic to see where I was to end up. If there is any consolation in it, it is not something I would do again. A haunting changes one's perspective on such things.
And so we stuck... Lloyd Dupre stuck him in a ring.
How about this then? A second chance. I will monitor the news where you live and only intervene if any husbands go mysteriously missing. Does that sound fair?
I don't know, sir. Mr. Baker from number 11 is an awful bore. If I need to listen to him talk about his bay trees one more time, I shouldn't joke, I know.
She's feeling a lot better if she's able to make a bad joke like that one.
Thank you for your kindness to me through all this.
Aww.
That was all.
Good day, Mr.
Aww. And I think we've already done your reflection, right? Yeah. Just for fun.
Do you have much understanding of what your angel wants of you?
Simon Coventry kidnapped her for, and bound her in Tyrannog for reasons? We're still in the he did it for reasons TM stage of things. That being said, she was planning on using the Seance to, in some way, shape, or form, activate her magical latency as of a royal lineage of Milesians and use that to magically take over all of Ireland. So, like...
Why she thinks Goibnu would have helped her with that, I don't know.
It remains a mystery, but she's a bad person.
Not yet. Something physical. I know that.
Evelyn would have ended up 100% dead if she actually went through with her plan.
I can feel my body recovering at an accelerated rate since pledging myself to it. I assume its intentions will become clear to me soon.
I also don't trust this angel.
Seance.
Given his name Swibna? Yeah, no.
Put her to worry for all too long. I need
Yeah.
to assure her that what comes next
Suspiciously
is
angel named Swevna.
so safe.
Notoriously
But that will
Near
be what
Eastern
it is.
name.
The only challenge will be getting her to believe me.
I'll be off, Mr.
Finn, it's actually confirmed this dude. We found a thing in his room with the Milesian 3-wave symbol.
Yep.
Hello again.
Where will you go?
Everywhere, I hope. I was looking at France. We had a French couple come here once. They were really different. Didn't care what anyone else thought. But this week, I've met, well, in the loosest sense of it, people from so much further. Maybe I'll go to all their countries.
New Orleans is lovely. They have a big party.
Huh. Imagine they bumped into me. I wonder if they'd even know who I was.
I'll leave you be.
Yeah.
So much for them. So we can go see if anyone's out here. I'd say no one's out here. Then... I don't know what's left. Did I pet I have pet the horse, yes. Well, I pet the horse as soon as I had the opportunity to pet the horse. That's a great use of a minute. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Are you okay, Father?
My mission is not complete, but my part in it is over. What happens next is up to you. As for me, I have spent much of my life fighting the Demiurge's illusions. Whatever comes after this, trick or not, I intend to let myself enjoy it while I can.
That's a pivot.
I'll take my leave.
Go with God.
Yeah, the world sucks and is an illusion, but I'm tired of fighting, therefore I'm just gonna, like, give up. I suppose he's of the opinion that, you know, if this works, and we have in fact freed the Aeon, definitely not going to, then he's done his part, he's saved everything. And it's fine. Alright, Sacerdos, thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's time for us to just move on, you know? I don't feel like running around and trying to hunt down everybody, so... What do you say? How much time do you have left? I have no idea how long Endgame's gonna take.
And then, of course, there will be all our reactions to it.
Exactly. Well... Okie doke, it's 7 o'clock. Time for the dinner. The silent dinner in the dining room, which we have to attend, so, boy, staring at the tower glass sure, worked up an appetite. You're so right. Alright, bud. Here we go.
Mr. Ward.
Yeah.
A reminder, sir, that the silent dinner is different to the other meals. Silent being the operative word here. No talking, please. Unless you'd like to upset our guests. And they're unnerved by staring, so none of that.
Okay. Who are the guests?
Oh, there's totally going to be some dead people here.
There's gonna be, like, all of the ghosts we've seen wandering around this manor, all hanging out, isn't there? My money's like all of the spooky red ghosts we've seen this whole time. So they're all just gonna be here.
Right.
Secondly, there will be no staff. We'll be having our own meal in the servants' hall. Though, of course, your food has already been prepared.
True, Magistressa. Baron Rothvogel will argue about Martin Luther in the middle of our silent dinner.
I've been told to impress upon you that this is a deeply spiritual event. If you feel the need to leave, that's fine, but don't disturb anyone. That should be all. If you'll allow me to show you to your
how is Mrs. Joyce going to sneak us the key? If...
Maybe it's under our plate?
That would be helpful. Okay, but my boy Lloyd, my goat Lloyd, is
Is that Laura?
There? Maybe? Maybe.
Because that's Victoria's husband over there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that might be Quarantine's brother. Which means Eamon's going to be in this chair.
I noticed that Mary's not here.
Yeah.
Lord save me. I cannot get used to this. Laura. She returned for this.
Well, there you go. There's the confirmation.
Mrs. Lau's husband. Is that Mary Blake? Why is she facing away?
Oh. That's not good.
That's a bad sign.
Alexander Quinn?
And presumably Eamon should...
I shouldn't stare. Varley said it upsets them. Then, I suppose all there is to do is eat.
There it is.
What is this? There is a key here. The note reads, Blake residence now.
I do notice that they seem to be eating goop. They seem to be eating goop to you.
Yeah, this is my least favorite. Well, that's not true. There are several. This is a, oh god, what's it called? This is an Irish meal. It's like it's mashed potatoes, and then you also have parsley or parsnips in it, and you can have it as a semi-divinatory thing where you hide. Yeah, there, alcohol cannon. You can have a semi-divinatory system where you put stuff in it, and whoever finds the thing. Pretty standard. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's texturally weird.
Yeah.
Mrs. Joyce, I assume. Perhaps it's a good time to investigate, since the Marquess and most of the guests.
Declan, you assume she told you. Declan, come on, man.
Look. Don't worry about it. Okay, well.
And now we run like hell for the Blake estate.
Yeah, we do. If I remember what direction it's supposed to go, I have to go for it. It's on the other side of the building, isn't it? Nope, no one else saw the key on our plate. We were very sneaky about it, trust. Am I stupid? I am stupid. I just was in the wrong section of the corridor. I was like, this doesn't seem right. And that's because it wasn't right. There we go. Alright. I don't like it here. Basement Annex, which is the other entrance. There is less than 1 hour to the seance. Entering the Blake residence is the point of no return. Are you confident in the knowledge you have gained about the culprit and suspects thus far? Yeah. What is going on in here? It's all boarded up. Mrs. Joyce was right. Things are not right here.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
I don't like the clock.
What the fuck is going?
Oh, none of this is good.
Is this fresh?
No, it's not.
I mean, definitionally no, but paper scrawlings of them are largely indecipherable, and many pages are ruined from liquid being spilled on them. Gather mystic, Seance will channel their life energy, psychic gold. When the veil is as thin as open the portal, wake the god from its sleep. Each letter S has been drawn over in red ink.
Okay, so clearly something is trying to leak its way through whatever spell he's under.
Uh-huh. Only Ofin, Dean, and Mantovani's names are here. Why is there a big old I guess there needs to be an elevator because,
You have to get down. Huh,
Walter
Why?
is... Why?
Wait, no, was that Walter?
What? No, up there's Walter. Or... But, the faced portraits. It's 88 p.m., yep.
Oh, this is all bad.
Must be a sort of lineage map. It starts with 3 names from long ago: Everfin, Amergin, and Eramon. Works its way down to modern times. At the bottom, so many names are struck up, but 2 are circled: Evelyn Dean and Donald O'Finn. Third lineage has been erased after the name Grana ni Amergin.
Okay, so there's a third person that's been deliberately erased in case anyone would see it.
The gate is sealed by 3 locks, each requiring the blood of the Milesian who locked it. Who's the... Huh.
Okay, that's the periodic table.
Uh-huh.
Why is francium on here? I didn't think francium was discovered yet.
Let's find out. Correct. It has not been 1939. Periodic table with the names, abbreviations, and details of the elements. Work on distilling power from blood? Again, very ominous. Research for various contraptions like the voltaic battery in the telegraph room. Schematics for some kind of machine that harnesses lightning to some end. I see we are... Oh, esoteric book. Great. Hit me with it. This book appears to be part science, part occult. An attempt to marry the two? I can't begin to imagine what this represents. It almost looks like a hypercube. Right? It's a seal, but it also looks almost like a 4-dimensional representation.
Is it a circuit?
Whatever meaning this may have, it's lost on me. I understand the text as a whole, but some parts of this grid have been circled. So circle numbers you found inside a strange book: 74, 53, 26, in that order.
So that would be the elements then.
74 W, 53 I. What was the last one?
24.
26? Wasn't it 26? 26. Wife. Iron.
Of course it is.
I don't like this chat! No. Indeed, all these relate to the one project. Phrenology bust.
Let's save that for last.
Yeah.
Oh, it has the elements on it, so...
So we have to input wife onto the phrenology bust. Cool. That's a mouse, a frog, and looks like a heart. It's full of human organs and animals preserved in strange fluid. It's just formaldehyde. Don't worry about it.
Can we take a look at the books on the bottom shelf?
Yes I can. Records of experiments I am not knowledgeable enough to wholly make sense of them, but they seem unorthodox. Ancient scrolls of dark magic. Cool. Solution of generations. A smear would not be enough to open the day. Not a drop could be wasted to ensure success. The blood must be fresh. They cannot perish before exsanguination.
So he's trying to find a way to concentrate blood because for whatever reason he's not willing to kill the 3rd Milesian.
I mean, it's Mary... Walter Blake has got to be the 3rd. Like, Mary Blake must be the descendants. Right?
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Is somehow Mary Blake is the genealogy from Grana, and so Walter Blake is the 3rd victim here? Books written in many languages, none of which I can read. Oh, come on, you could at least give us an attempt. Between the 3 of us, we've got pretty good coverage on languages. Like, come on. Financials. Library. Books on magic and fringe sciences. A very different selection to the library in the hotel. Wasn't the first Blake's wife taken from the local populace?
I think that's where Mary's from, yeah.
But, like, the very first, like, Edward Blake, I think you are correct.
Oh, yes.
But also, then it would just track down through to Jonathan and we would not be in this mess. I discovered in many segments, each with letters on them, they seem to press inward. I wonder why. Alright. There must be a code here for which buttons and in what order. Am I able to rotate? wife. Now, this is luckily not at all how a real phrenology bust works. Because it's not elemental, it's other stuff.
Back to the left, on the other side of the skull.
Oh, right up there. I was gonna miss that for a while. Are the floorboards shaking? Iodine is stored in the amygdala, duh. Yeah, so, very quick rundown here. Phrenology is the idea that certain parts of intelligence are literally mapped into different bumps and ridges along the human skull. And then by doing very precise measurements of things like nose width, pupillary distance, and the location of the various imperfections among the bone plates of the skull, you could determine someone's aptitude for all sorts of intelligence-related things. Was this used? Is this completely nonsense? Yes. Did this completely by coincidence trust, for real, map onto statistical white people distribution being the most moral and intelligent? Do I really have to answer that, chat? Phrenology is super racist.
It's making a comeback in AI face scans and the like.
That doesn't make me feel better. Is this a shrine to Mary Blake? I don't think that I should touch anything in here.
Fire hazard?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's sure her dress.
I wonder if that's the dress that she wore when she was killed. Because that would be the level of fucked up I... Ugh.
Why would anyone think that Goibnu could bring her back?
I don't know. He's clearly not doing so well.
He has... Goivnu has a feast that keeps people from dying from old age, but it doesn't bring people back. Well, he actually is invoked in a single medical charm, but it's like against wounding or something.
Blake history... Also, I hate the idea of these blindfolded angels behind locked gates. Hi, Mary.
I'm having
How are you doing?
Real bad flashbacks to Blink.
Hey, Mary.
Oh yeah.
Mary, you're supposed to be over at the dinner. Don't judge me. I'm trying to save you here. These map the Blake lineage as far back as Edward Blake, who planted his family here. Looks like one branch of the family has been erased. I can't make out any names, but from this they would be cousins of the Marquess. And that's where Simon Coventry comes in. He's in the cousin lineage. Count stating that once he had taken the fort here, Edward Blake forced himself on the chief. Ew. Her name was Grana Anrigan, and she bore him son.
Yeah.
Yup. Well, your
that would
P has
technically
been
not
scrolled...
count in Irish stuff. You can't pass lines along a female line. It has to always be paternal.
Okay, so the red letters clearly mean something. So it's S and P so far.
Let me get into... I don't even know whose thing this is. His residence is covered in insane ramblings. Yeah. What does that bode for us that he's not... Okay.
I am having a sneaking suspicion that Walter doesn't exist.
I think he's dead.
No, I continue to vote with the he's going to be exsanguinated. I continue to be in the got exsanguinated. What mysteries are... Okay, the Blake residence itself is a mystery. Yeah, that's fair, honestly. Empty bedroom. Well, I guess we're going to find out one way or another here, aren't we? Books on Irish mythology, magic, and the old ways. Section of Tirnanog have been circled. That's the land of eternal youth. We will send that thing through the portal in exchange for Mary. The letter Y has been repeatedly circled in red ink.
S-P-Y.
Oh.
X is the last
Interesting.
one.
Ink.
Right? It's got to be X. Projector.
if anyone in the audience is interested, the other world is not an afterlife. It's a misunderstanding by early scholars calling it Elysium in the sense of beautiful and amazing and great, and non-scholars going, "Oh, afterlife," which is a reasonable misunderstanding. It was a bad. It was the academics dropping the ball.
What's the code for this? We have no way.
SPY, so it's alphanumeric.
Yeah. Well. The bedroom, turn the knob, find the safe code. S, P, and Y. Which, yeah, all link into their... They've got the links in there. So we got it in that order, S, P, Y. So what is that? Alphanumeric Y. Yeah. Like 20...
Let me double check.
Yeah. 22, 20, 25?
I think so, yeah.
I have not actually counted. I'm just trying to vibe it out. 21 is the second one. So 20... Wait. Am I dumb?
Hey, hold on, I got a list. Or do I have a list? This is an actual list. It's not an actual list.
15. M is 13. So P is 5th. B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yep. So 16. S would be 19 then. So it's 19, 16, 25. Right?
That sounds right.
Turn the dial left.
I've finally found a list.
$19, $16, $25. Really? Spoilers. I don't like the sound of spoilers. Oh, there's a note here. Birth records with all names but knocked off, but 2. Jonathan Blake and Walter Blake crossed the pages scrolled. It must be. Solve my safe puzzle, Declan. Truly.
Okay, so me? Is there something we can do with... I don't think we can do anything with the projector yet.
I don't think so either. No, I think his wife did. I think he just fully got driven super duper giga insane by his wife's death, and is having a very normal one about it. Say, what are the odds that it's back to the periodic table of fucking elements?
You know, that might...
16, 15, 39. Let me just... 16, 15, 39. We'll see if that works. Because it does go up that far. I just need to do that correctly. Up. 16, 15. Yep. Fucking periodic table of elements. The projector slides and still with a hole carved in the center.
It's a hagstone.
The note says these hagstones will keep us safe during the seance. Make sure Walter has one. I may take one too.
Yeah, those aren't going to keep you safe. I'm sorry to say, that's not how they work. They'll let you see things.
They're not apotropaic, I don't think.
They are not. They will let you see things by looking through the hole, which led to like a really charming bit of the Spiderwick Chronicles, where Arthur Spiderwick has like a magnifying monocle that is just a hagstone mounted to a lens. But yeah, that is not protecting.
Yeah.
Is that stars aligned to form a seal?
Mm-hmm.
Which
That's
one?
exactly what this is. Isn't this the open? I wish I hadn't expected that. What are you hiding, Marquess?
I don't like any of this. I don't like that there's a bricked up wall.
Agreed. The wall is sealed itself up. There's no going back. Hi, Walter. How you doing, bud? Kiddo, my man. Somebody is coming.
My boy, it is time. I know this is hard for you, but think of your mother. Your sacrifice will bring her back to us and bring you back to me. Your chair gone, your voice restored. You will not be dead for long. I promise.
Sorry to interrupt, sirs.
Yeah.
They're ready for you at the seance.
Yes, of course.
What on earth?
Oh, young master, you look so smart. His mother would be so proud.
She will be, yes.
That's...
We had best get moving. Time has
So Jonathan thinks he's sacrificing his son.
What?
But he doesn't have a son.
What the?
Or the son's dead.
Yeah, there's several questions.
But both the Marquez and the housekeeper spoke as if it wasn't. Were they under another spell? Is Walter Blake even real? Oh, he must
and
be.
Wait, Mrs. Joyce is involved.
No, Mrs. Joyce is under a spell.
But she's under a spell, right? Wait, paintings. The paintings change. Coventry's a painter. He redid all the portraits.
That would be real bad. Tales of a Little White Rabbit and the Value of Being Kind. I can't imagine it's ever been read. Collection of short stories for small children, each imparting a biblical lesson. It looks completely untouched, and yet it's lying on the floor as if it's just been read.
Yeah, this is just staged.
This is yikes. Children's book about a little girl who lives with her grandfather in the mountains. Pages are stuck together. There may even be uncut. No indication that it's ever been opened. Cool. Look, I'm assuming that I have infinity time, which is probably a dubious thing. But list alphabet blocks arranged to spell the word God in a wheelbarrow that looks as good as new. Okay then. This is extremely bad.
That's actually a bit of an anachronism. There wouldn't be a stuffed bear yet. Stuffed bears were associated with the proliferation of stuffed bears as toys is associated with Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh yeah, fair. Jonathan Blake, he looks younger here and more content. There's a glint of something missing from his expression. Hunger? Sorrow? I can't tell. Mary Blake, her expression is unhappy.
The young master is here, but no.
Yeah.
Wait. This page
Good,
is
good
different. It's
read,
fresher,
Arcanist.
newer.
Yeah, very
Somebody
clever.
has added him to the picture.
Very
good
well,
design.
very well added.
He isn't
Wait, does
real.
that mean if Coventry's the
He is a
cousin,
fabrication that the
was
Marquess
was
and
he
the
having
staff
an
seem to
affair with
believe is
Mary?
real?
I don't know. Cool. Hypothesis unlocked Blake residence. Yay! Jonathan Blake intends to sacrifice his son to resurrect his wife, but Walter Blake isn't real. This...
Walter Blake seems to be a shared hallucination between at least the staff and the Marquess.
I wasn't ready.
But the paintings of him. He has been freshly painted in over
I
original
would
paintings.
suggest this was
It's a
Goibnu
very good
manipulating him if it wasn't for the
I
paintings
only
being
realized when I
physically
went to
altered.
look for it.
Yeah.
Because illusion
can
is
that
very
be?
much
level of
Elshi
replication.
stuff, but
Not just
the physical alteration
I
suggests
have
it's
picked up an-
Coventry.
I wonder, and if not,
We have a mystery solved. We also have like a crap ton of other stuff. Walter Blake cannot be saved. Doesn't seem like anyone is going to survive. It's also my last chance to find and save Evelyn Dean. I need to get out there and stop it. Okay, we've got like 18 things we can do real quick though. Escape. The ritual. Can we actually do the culprit in a substantive way? No. Like, are we just going to... Okay. We're just locked in there. Stop a seance in odd stone. Its purpose exists. And we gotta get to the hedge maze with some urgency, huh? Nine o'clock. And we have a freaking, hike stone. Left to do anything. Lost track of time. The seance will be starting soon. I need to get out to the hedge maze and put a stop to it before it's too late.
This is very tense all of a sudden. And of course it's raining.
Of course it's pouring, and somehow we set up 8 million torches.
Ominous chanting.
Yep.
Don't know what language that is.
Oh, I'll turn the volume up.
The circle is sealed.
God damn it, then all those are
wait,
blocked off.
That must mean Jonathan is the sacrifice.
That's my thought. There's a lot of folks still around here. Empty space here, it's for me. Shouldn't keep them waiting any longer. No. Come on.
To come forth, be witnessed by us, be heard by us. Age posco. Nego te recusare.
Uh-huh. Some part of stopping this kind of failed. It looks so sick. Yeah.
Oh no, this is bad. This is very bad.
So everyone being protected seems to have done fuck all.
Okay, so the Hagstone broke.
I'm alive. I'm okay. But Carmela, and the others, I don't know.
Oh, that was Carmela frickin' dying. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was known. It was known. We expected this.
So everyone's protected.
She knew she wasn't going to survive. These are at least some of our protected squad. There's a lot of folks who weren't going to show.
what are those things?
How are you?
No, they're just zombies. Maybe I just leave, actually.
Oh, that looks to be that's probably the Sluagh then, along with random goblins and bogies.
What's up, bud?
Antler agenda.
What if I just hi? Oh.
Oh.
Understandable.
Yeah, that's on. That's
you know,
on.
I should have expected that. 19 of the people in the manor survived, though. I mean, look, we got an autosave just a moment ago, so, I should have definitely seen.
It's interesting they're hurting us this way.
Yeah. I mean, the energy goes this way.
Goes this way. But how? My head.
Speak your name to enter.
It wants the culprit's name. But who?
Welcome, Simon.
Okay, Doc. Investigate the mausoleum. Mike says Miss Dean, so this is where it was brought.
A collection of papers, a birth certificate, and a journal. It's the birth certificate of a Henry Blake, who seems to be the older cousin of Jonathan Blake, the actual heir to the title and lands here. His father died when he was still a young lad. Rather than pass the title and lands to Henry, an attempt was made on his life by Jonathan Blake's father. Henry's mother took him and fled. She died soon after, leaving him alone in the world. All he had were his father's notes, the notes that resulted in his death.
Hey, look.
And then the sigil. He spent much of his life studying the occult to make sense of the sigil, and eventually much older he returned to the manor, armed with the understanding of the ground's secrets. He had adopted the identity of Simon Coventry, a man who had also recently lost his wife. Over this he bonded with the Marquess, and used that to gain the access he needed to search the grounds. He found the chamber his father had died opening, and was able to get inside.
I wonder if he named himself Simon as a Simon Magus reference.
Locked in a deep sleep.
That would be very cool.
The god's dreams already colored by the events happening around him. Coventry took advantage of this through prayer and something he calls his Shrine of Images. And Guivnu's dreams reshaped the minds of everyone around him into thinking there was a Walter Blake who's been crippled in the accident that killed his mother. Because to unlock the gate he needs Blake blood. It says here they are the last of the third Milesian bloodline.
Yeah.
The Marquess will kill himself, thinking he both kills and frees his son.
Yeah.
But God's dream can't force anyone to act outside of their interest. He couldn't be made to kill himself, but he could be tricked into doing it for the right reason. Then with Blake gone and the god freed, Coventry will ask for his reward, to have his youth returned.
All of
this.
That
something,
is something Guivnu can do. That's something he can do.
The son would paint things, documents, and mesmerize staff to vouch for him as the next in line to the title.
This is actually really clever.
Oh.
It's also super, like, basic fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
Think about how many people are dying here for, really very little of note.
Or having their minds irreparably damaged. Is
Adam,
that
is
an
that
Icus hammer?
Oh,
yes. Yeah, it is.
I'll
Not dead.
I'll look at the Ohm.
No, it's not the Helm of Awe, but it's a related image. It's the same kind of.
It is a Galdrastafr.
Galdrastafr.
Yeah. So.
I think this is one of the more Solomonic influenced ones.
It could be a Solomonic seal. Galdrastafr.
Oh, well, no. It's a Galdrastafr, but Galdrastafr have overlap with Solomonic seals.
But yeah, it is a variation on the Ayashelmer, right, in terms of style. It's definitely not one of the attested ones, though. Basically, right, it's kind of mixing two different things. So, the first one here is the Veivisir, which has the kind of extra doodads that we see in the game. Right below the arch on the stave. So, that's where that symbol with the upside down arch and the two dots is coming from, is off the Veivisir, which is a wayfinding charm. But the symmetry of it is pretty strongly associated with the Ayashjelmur, the Helm of Terror, which has the 8 identical points. So this is a fictional, this looks like it's a fictional one, it's not in the Hold manuscript. Yeah, that is, we did get a nice Landic jump scare in my video game. Again.
8-pointed stars are also a chaos magic thing, but that's later.
Oh boy.
That'll be in a couple decades.
Finn's bad. No, it's... Oh, Finn recognized me after all these years. He was only a child when I visited his camp seeking their wisdom. Even my own flesh and blood didn't know me. In hindsight, I was probably memorable enough, a wealthy outsider coming to ask of their god. Shouldn't have panicked and attacked him, though. That was risky. Yeah, but what if he outed me? Thankfully, I played in those catacombs as a lad and know all their secrets. My back's in agony today for it. I've taken most of a bottle to ease the pain. By tonight, back troubles will be a future problem. Sorry, how much laudanum did you take?
Ill-advised amount.
Sorry, how much laudanum did you actually take? Jesus fuck. Various paintings of Walter Blake that Coventry must have discarded for whatever mistakes he feared people would see through. Reference photo has Henry Blake 1840 written on the back.
So they are just paintings of himself as a child. That's really clever. It's evil,
Wow.
but it's really clever.
Yeah, so this is just random nonsense, is what I'm hearing.
I don't know if that makes sense, or I don't know. There's something weird with it. I'm getting okay, reading it the correct direction. I'm getting ROOL or LOOR, depending on which way you're reading it.
Sure.
And then ISOOPQ or PC, which. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something weird there.
We're gonna say odds are that that's not real.
Unless it's like a hint to a puzzle later on.
For the most part, they seem to be trying to avoid making things too much. I can't start there. I think I have to start like there, basically, right?
I think you could start from that other point. It would just be a little different.
Yeah, this doesn't quite work either. If we start there, that way we give ourselves a path. Back? No. No, I'm falling one short on that. There we go.
Oh dear.
Well, that wasn't spooky at all. And that's a lot of ghosts.
They are out in force.
We're closing in on the church. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, church will be fine.
Church will be fine. What the church is for.
Oh.
Who?
Oh, the god's tomb is under the church.
Oh, the Reverend.
Okay.
He's been murdered. They killed the Reverend. No. And the god's tomb is just literally dead. It's like straight up.
This is an incredibly complex door for Iron Age Ireland.
Yeah.
What the hell? What in the Lovecraft Hellboy?
Oh boy.
Fuck yeah.
Did you fill out the last mystery? That's a good question.
Oh shit, they're all the same thing.
Don't treat Henry Blake. He's going to the entry to the smithing god Go Avenue. I have not done the final hypothesis. Hang on. Is to free. Sorry, I did. Yeah. Oh yeah, the entity in order to assume the role of his
ancestral home. Oh, executor.
Magical fabrication, Walter Blake, to inherit his ancestral home, because his real identity is ousted heir, Henry Blake.
Simon Coventry is really Henry Blake, ousted heir of the Blake title and fortunes. He has returned with the intent of using magic to reclaim what was taken from him.
There we go.
So the Ohm floating around Go Avenue there is SS Imbus, which is you use it in a compound for Imbus Ferocity, which is kind of divination knowledge, which happens to be the exact same kind of divination ritual that involves the cats and dogs I was reading about earlier.
Oh, good.
Mr. I need to.
And there. Hey.
Shh. No, Walter.
Just don't let him close the door, you know?
Please don't turn and slit your throat, Jonathan. Please don't do that to us.
Mummy will be home soon. Thanks to you. A big, brave boy. This will only hurt a moment. Then Daddy will talk with the floating man and bring you and her back. Then we'll all be together again. What are you doing here? I won't let you stop this.
I need to get through to him. Hello. Seance disaster. Apprehend the suspect. Magic doorway. Huh. You cannot.
Save your son. You've been.
Save.
Your family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes
You've been tricked by Henry Blake. We can take over your ancestral home. Here goes nothing.
Fool. But I would have all I could ever. Who was restraining me? And where is my son? Where is my boy? He should be here, shouldn't he? No. I thought. No. I didn't. They were not my thoughts. Not at all. They were put there. There is no Walter.
Oh.
Just a cruel illusion. Oh, my
Mary Blake was very real.
taken from me. And Mary. My Mary. She is truly gone.
She was pissed at you when she died, but she's probably pissed at you about like going through stupid shit.
Command think such things. Have such hope. You're right. I have been fooled. By a relation I did not even know existed. Fooled by the only real flesh and blood that I have.
Because he's like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you doing this? Oh, he's doing well. He's doing very normally. Nope. Oh boy.
Jonathan, don't.
Get off me, you fool!
Oh well, they do still need Blake blood. It's a free good,
You
you know.
gave me hope. You gave me a son, only to take them from me.
Some lucidity, is it? I am only doing to you what your grandfather did to me. I should have been the Marquess of Dune, and I will be. Islam, Jonathan.
You will be nothing!
Oh boy, they're both dead, aren't they? Well, unlucky. We need to get a little... Marquess could not be saved. Marquess Blake was determined to resurrect his life at any cost, but had been tricked into nearly sacrificing himself by the ousted heir Henry Blake, posing as Simon Coventry. Action unlocked the ritual. Stop only I can stop it now. Where is the action?
Bottom
oh,
right,
here.
left.
Just, I need to find a way to stop it. Cool.
Okay, there's a seal interface.
Neat.
Oh, Terranex.
Not attested. Not attested in Ireland, but interesting.
Yep. Shout outs to Horned Helmets for being
Yeah,
like the most
also our guys are
stereotypical.
naked.
Yep.
Naked and got tattoos.
Yep.
Also, those swords are ahistorical.
After much death, a truce was called. They agreed to halve the land between them.
This is far and away the most like stereotyped Braveheart looking motherfuckers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, the Milesians tricked
Where's
the
Johnny when you need him for the random Dolmen rap?
two a day down and went below ground through this here portal.
If anyone's interested, that's not how it literally in one account, the same spell that's used by God to banish a third of the heavenly host is used by Avergan to seal the Tuatha Dé.
Oof. Unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
We even stayed behind to build a lock for the portal that could only be opened again by him and the three Milesian leaders, using their blood.
Uh-huh.
Once the portal was closed, he fell into a deep slumber, from which his dreams inspired those who lived here for millennia.
By the way, if you remove
Very
the horns,
Lovecraft.
if you remove the antlers from this stupid thing, this is a Scandinavian helm found in Sweden. The Järnebo helm. It should have a big male aventail or like chain mesh over the face, but
Yeah,
otherwise this is fully the Järnebo helm. Let me show y'all. Let me get a full resolution of it, please. Thank you.
That's really weird. That Olm is mirrored. It's Imbus again, but flipped.
Huh.
Like you're never supposed to have those kind of diagonal slashes. They always go the other way.
That's peculiar. But yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's just an image was swapped.
Yeah, that's probably right. They designed the thing, and at some point they flipped the asset.
Yep.
Because that's an easy thing to do.
Until war came to the land once again.
Uh-huh. Fucking the worst.
Oliver
This man's...
Cromwell and his forces arrived, led in this region by Edward Blake.
What themes? No. Video games don't have themes, Nepicros. Huh.
They killed those living here, the people Guivna had formed a bond with over the generations. Their blood seeped into this chamber and tainted his dreams. He felt alone and scared. He feels alone and scared still.
Okay. Aww.
He just wants to go home to his people.
Okay, so we should not use the release one, because that will free him to wreak unholy vengeance on the English.
Do I have another choice? I don't have another sigil that I can activate.
We have Lorkins. We have Unlock and we have Lorkins.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Yes. The Aeon... But the Aeon killing one is listed as release.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I was thinking
Yeah.
Unlock.
Yeah, so there's there's a couple of sigils that we can use. Sigils. We have that one. Or we have that one.
Yeah, I would not use
Or
open.
I guess these three. I'm thinking this is the most interesting one.
Yes.
So, I mean...
They'll be fine, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. See, the problem is Donald doesn't deserve this. Right? Evelyn deserves this. The Blakes deserve this.
They'll be fine, I'm pretty sure.
That's not...
Screw you, Simon. What is the...
Grief, no, something deep inside me is screaming not to get any closer. Oh. I don't get a choice in the matter, huh? Fine. Henry Blake's painting of himself inserted into the family as Walter Blake, right in front of Gwivno, like a strange type of shrine. This must be how Coventry sealed that idea into the god's mind to keep it front and center in his thoughts, so they'd be present in his dreams. Which is how it infiltrated the minds of the staff and guests here, tricking everyone into believing the child was real. How it clouded everyone's mind about Mistine's disappearance into her room, built the staff's minds about two that having met him before this event. Alright. 3 standing stones. Part of the original locks? Yup. Heck.
Oh, there's a thing on the right too.
The broken... Oh yeah, there's a sigil here. What is it for?
That's the release one.
Yes.
That's the close one. Broken will be the close.
Yep. That'll be open. But we also have Get Fucked. So, let's see what that one does, you know? Needs to be kind of control panel. But what sigil? Manual save. That would be a good idea. That would be a really good idea. Thank you. Because then we can reload and try some of these other ones, you know? Surely they'll be fine. There are 3 of 3 options for the sigil. What do I need for this? That one. That one? I need a row. No, that's not right. That one has to be up there. Because I need all 5 of them to be... How exactly am I supposed to do that? We got a trace, alas? Yeah, but I gotta set it up right to look the right way. And,
I don't get how we're getting those corners.
I think I do need that one to be that way.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just don't
you're
have
right.
the...
Yeah, because you...
Because then I need the ones across the top there. This one needs to be that way. And this one needs to be that way. Yes. Got it. Surely everything will be fine. Surely. Actually, I think you need to start or end here. Hang on. If I can... Directions... Come on. Don't do this to me. Thank you. Got it in one.
Nice.
I have no idea what this is gonna do. I have no idea if this will save anything. But,
Yep.
Go home, Gordon.
Just leave! I have no idea if that helped.
Just go.
Oh, thank God. They're not totally dead. Donald! Shoutouts to Donald for being able to still walk about. Oh. This man... Mystery solved. The ritual.
The achievement for this is come with me if you want to live.
Yup.
This is where the man who saved my life spends his time.
Evelyn, go to hell.
Danger, danger, danger.
Danger, danger, danger! I'm hitting the no button.
Yes. I think at the very least, I will give you a drink.
How about a lot of money? Could you give me a lot of money instead? I want 2 things. A lot of money, and for you to never speak to me again.
Also for your father to be less of an asshole.
Miss Hisham became obsessed with seeking out
I want 3 things.
others hidden across the globe.
Huh.
Arwa,
Well,
no!
Miss
We tried.
Arwa and Mummy 4, when?
News of her death. But at least her last wish had been carried out, and they were set for many comfortable years.
Aww. We didn't get to deliver it in person, we just dropped it in the mail. I wanted to retire peacefully to the Italian...
Mr. O'Mara's angel led him deep into the unknown parts of the world.
God damn it.
I never learned in search of what.
Yeah, true. I mean, trust the Italian mail in the early 1900s. Out of whatever money was set aside, they'd get like 5% of it. God damn it.
With the curse lifted,
Aww.
Miss Quinn was free to raise her siblings in safety. She supported them only by her earnings as a poet.
Okay, Inish, you could have let her live at least on the, like, become a tenant.
Mrs. Darcy disposed of her
Get
husband's
wrecked.
ghost on her route home. She later turned the events at the manor into the acclaimed horror novel, Eldritch House.
Ha! So in this universe, Bleak House is based on a true story.
Yep.
Mr. Hunter left the manor and spent his remaining years breeding champion horses for the MacLeod family.
Aww.
Good for him.
Mr. Doyle left Ireland to see the world.
Hey, he made it to Paris.
Good for him.
Free from his obligation, Mr. Dupre returned to New Orleans.
Isn't that Mrs. Joyce?
I think that is.
With a newly opened mind,
Yeah!
Mrs. Joyce accompanied him to
Yeah! God, her first Mardi Gras is gonna be an experience.
Mr. Toussaint shared his account of the seance with his societal fellows, after which it was agreed he should spearhead a new department of supernatural investigations. He also
And that is
published
how
a
the
paper,
BPRD
thoroughly
started.
correcting every element that Mrs. Darcy had embellished in her novel.
Thank you, Etienne.
God, good to know we have a, like, generational hater. Okay, but also, think about how many times we've published I've said a thing and be like, this is wrong in your fictional story. We talked to him once to be like, what's next?
Miss Callahan finally retired and passed the role of Dree on the Dr. Callahan.
It's fascinating they're imagining it as a role that has to be, rather than a job anyone can have.
Started a new life away from all things supernatural.
Oh, thank
Doesn't
God.
deserve it, but good. Best for you.
Honestly, hey, we stopped her before she committed, like, hyper murder. Maybe she can just move back to the Midwest and join all her Swedish relatives, you know?
With her family lands returned to her, along with the Quinn fortune, Miss Barbosa began a new life in Ireland.
Barbosa sweep!
Mrs.
Yeah!
and Mr. McLeod retired to a cottage outside London. They never attended another mystical event.
They look very happy.
They look very happy. Good for them.
Mr. O'Finn went deep into the forest and was never seen again.
Valid.
Sure.
So valid.
Miss Murphy continued the studies she began under Miss Dean and used that power to create a better life for herself. With Miss Callahan's help, she was able to reunite with her daughter.
Okay, good ending, but still feels suspiciously like a mistake.
Father Synod retired and spent his last few years exploring the forests of Ireland with his hound, Seamus.
Aww.
Mr. Skerritt established the Skerritt Foundation, which set up schools and hospitals for the underprivileged. He is thought of fondly by those he helped. Mr. Varley used the treasure to purchase the manor. He turned it into a refuge for lost souls. He kept the name Blake Manor.
Detective Ward saved 21 out of 21 people, 36 out of 37 mysteries solved. However, I do believe it was due to a bug that we weren't able to finish the 37th. Right, that's what chat was saying, is that there's a bug related to one of O'Finn's quest that causes it to not check as complete even after you've done it.
Right.
So that would be the staff and the jar of things, right? Translating that would be the quest that we did do. But yeah, we saved everyone that could have been saved.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that was a very... I think this is probably the best... Yeah, I mean, the bar is low, but I think that was probably the best representation of Irish stuff in a video game that I've seen. There are things I would disagree with, but there are also, like, absurdly deep, like, cuts that are so deep that I'm unsure if they're intentional or not. Like the dog and cat skull by the body of water, which is like, if that's intentional, that's crazy.
I feel like that has to be intentional because of how they handled having the word around Goyben.
Yeah, I was thinking that exact same thing.
Space Nerd, we did that. It just didn't give us the hypothesis.
We skipped right to knowing about the staff, which did not let us finish.
Oh yeah, right. Because it told us that we knew information about the staff before we entered his room in order to see the staff. Right. I forgot about that
figured
bug.
out that he was missing.
Like right away when we knew he was missing, it gave us a whole bunch of achievements related to him. When we hadn't even entered his room yet. So that's probably with the bug location. So, yeah, but no, they did. This game, I think, yeah, is probably the best depiction of Ireland.
Yeah, especially in this time period, it's engaging with some very relevant themes. For yeah, I think it's very well done.
Yeah, right. I mean, but God, the competition for like good representations of Ireland's past is fully in hell. Cause
yeah,
we've got what, this and Wrath of the Druids.
Yeah, there's a few other ones inspired by bits of it, but that's always tricky. Where it's like you can't. It's difficult to use things like inspired by the Book of Invasions to discuss the Book of Invasions because it's like, oh well, like at what point is it authorial misunderstanding? Ooh,
Pets, spooky pets. Oh. Look at them, spooky babies. Incredible. There is one CK3 mod. Yeah, but I'm not going to count a mod for the purpose of this discussion, because it's a freaking mod. And, right, a mod is fundamentally solving a lack of thing in the published space. Because if you have the rep and you're satisfied with the rep, you don't make a modification to add the rep. So, I'm excluding mods. But yeah, right, you end up with either grand strategy stuff, Wrath of the Druids,
yeah,
or this game, for being very specifically like, this is not just inspired by, this is Ireland in a specific historical moment.
Yeah.
Engaging
it was
with
bringing up.
Yeah.
It was bringing up things that, well, I would go to work and mention. Like the big one is that tsunami that apparently hit Galway. Because I was mentioning that at work, and like this is like a room full of people with PhDs in medieval Irish and several people with PhDs in modern Irish, and everyone was like, "The what?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh wow, that's crazy," which was very impressive. Yeah, I'm. There are things here and there that I would have done differently. I think Guaivenu as a choice for who to still be around is like I didn't understand it until it got into and that's how I'll become a kid again in order to do this part of my conspiracy. And I was like, oh, okay, and it makes sense.
Right, landed it at the literal last second. It was looking real touch and go there, and then managed to sneak it out with a W at the last second.
Yeah.
It made no sense why Goibnu until literally the last moment.
Yeah. Goibnu's design, I'm like, no, stop. that I don't like that. I don't understand why O'Flynn needs to be a druid narratively. I think it would be more interesting if you emphasize the fact that he's a traveler. However, at the same time, I can also understand if the creators of this game are not travelers going, I actually do not feel comfortable engaging with this closed culture. So that I could put as like either way. I think it's interesting that in the very least there is a traveler in the narrative, who's represented very reasonably. I don't like the way O'Flynn is depicted as a druid. I think that's like, it's just like, oh shit, where's Pliny the Elder?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Quite literally, yeah.
Yeah, I think this game would be very interesting with a director's cut.
The Fae, right? The Fae at the end being all just like spooky undead. Like I don't hate the idea that we're just going full contemporary horror, that the Fae are undead. They are goblins. They are weird Lovecraft druid dudes, or weird Lovecraft cult dudes. Right? I don't hate it because it's very of the genre, and I mean, undead are a fundamental category of supernatural being. So,
yeah,
given they kind of circled all the way back around to being better than if they had made the Fae really just like Tolkien elves but with sharp knives.
I think it would have been kind of cool to see them as like these bright white specters in contrast with the red of the human dead. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because then you're playing into the white and red coloration motif of the other world.
I thought that the Banshee that was present would be more relevant because we see her right at the beginning, but I do understand her as a narrative marker right at the beginning of A, this is a supernatural stuff's going on, B, doom is coming.
Yeah.
That in that sense it makes sense, but it felt like they were really emphasizing the Raven stuff throughout, which didn't come up, which is fine as a general like bad shit's afoot.
Exactly.
I think they did a very good job like looking at the relationship between first of all, they differentiated Catholic and Protestant. I think that was very interesting. They got into the difference between the upper class people who owned the house and the people who worked there, such as having people who are illiterate or can't write in English. It was this is very, very well done. Also, the architecture of this building makes total sense. Yeah, this is I've been to multiple houses like this. It's all back from when like people invented concrete and were like, oh yeah, it's going to be trendy forever. So everything looks like kind of like a brutalist building, but also not.
Yeah, no, like so much of this, like it actually kind of strikes me how well grounded this is for its late 19th century material, when we're just truly dealing with what is the history of Irish colonialism, Irish social class disputes, and kind of the history of occultism at the end of the 19th century, versus how it depicts this mythic past and the gobsmacking pile of stereotypes and fictional imagery that are stacked on top of each other for going, the Battle of Tailtew.
Yeah. It's really interesting seeing. I'd be very interested in talking to the developers and being like, what was going on? Because it feels like parts of the engaging with the medieval material is absurd. It's really just like the Imbus Ferocity stuff where I'm like, that's crazy. You got that, and also that it was never like I only noticed it because I think it was Amit was able to notice that I know what those two animals are, whereas I'm like, I don't know, it's the animal skull. Like that's crazy. But then having Guavenu's design in the Battle of Taliesin being so odd,
Braveheart.
Like it feels like there's different teams. Like yeah. It feels like the art team and the writing team were a bit, which is fine, and it is how video games were developed. But it's interesting.
Yeah. But
obviously there was some blatant fictionalization in the history of magic and how it's depicted. There's a couple of things I would have liked to have seen a little differently because it would have felt a little more of the period. Seamus being a Swedenborgian instead of an Enochian would have felt more sensible.
Fair.
Especially because of how the Swedenborgians feed into the message medium seance stuff that is being depicted here. And would have also fed into the idea of O'Meara seeing himself as a prophet once he comes to terms with his angel.
Yeah. I also wish, I wish we got a bit more explicit references to, Blavatsky. Right,
Yeah.
we got Theosophists, but we kind of zipped past how important they are, and even just, Erickson having a book of Madame Blavatsky's writings, or other people kind of bringing them up and showing how that's getting spread around, Theosophists are getting spread around, would have been really cool to see. But that is a level, of deep nitpicking.
Yeah, no, it's they had all the great stuff here. It was the way the magic looked and feels. Obviously, was fictionalized for game mechanics reasons, for the obvious reasons. It would have been cool to see a little more involvement from actual historical people because, as mentioned, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is real. The Society for Psychical Research is also real.
Yep, the Rosicrucians were real.
Yeah, and they all had prominent members, very, very active at this time. I would need to double check something real quick, because the Theosophists were doing some pretty alarming stuff. Oh, this is just before. Okay, so I'm gonna go into, if that's all right, Adam.
Rock out.
One of the weird and horrible stories to come from the Theosophists, which is the miserable and the very grim story of Jiddu Krishnamurti. So, for those who don't know, the Theosophists were believed that they were on the cusp of a new world order emerging, and the Theosophists were an extremely widespread and influential organization in 1897 when the game is set. And it is very widespread. It's incredibly powerful, and a thing that I think gets downplayed a lot in the presentation of the Theosophical Society is that the Theosophical Society is still kicking.
Really?
Yeah, they still exist.
They're still around. They still have a journal. They still have the compound in Chennai.
That's yikes.
That's fascinating.
I didn't know that they still own the compound. That's not good.
They still own the compound in Chennai. But the whole thing of Jiddu Krishnamurti is that he grew up near the Chennai compound that the Theosophists own, and he grew up at a time when they were looking for a world leader, for a spiritual leader who was the next incarnation of the world teacher, like Jesus and Krishna and figures of that nature. So Jiddu here, who was the son of a guy who worked in the area, who did the manual labor for the Theosophical Society. His son was epileptic and otherwise very sensitive. And so a member of the Theosophical Society came across him one day, decided this was the Messiah, and then purchased him from his father. And the Theosophical Society, as an organization, tried to raise him to be a Messiah. And somehow he ended up coming out of this just a very competent spiritual philosopher of his own bent. But I cannot stress enough that the Theosophical Society purchased a child from his father, just straight up kidnapped him, and then groomed him to be a messianic figure at a compound they own and continue to own in Adyar, which is a neighborhood of Chennai. This is a thing that they were doing at this time. They were looking for someone to groom into this role. They wouldn't do it for another several years, but they were looking for it, and the Theosophical Society's Austrian branch, the Austro-Hungarian branch, would of course eventually become the kernel around which Himmler's religion of blood formed. So the Theosophists are doing some nightmarish shit all over the world, where they're incredibly powerful and influential and wealthy. The Golden Dawn is starting to fracture at this time because Mathers is getting closer with Crowley and people don't like that. But also Yeats is a member. And Yeats is very relevant to the milieu of the game and the cultural movements that they are drawing on. Actually, I can explain this, Raven. What is their obsession with Eastern wisdom? It goes all the way back to the Greeks, who were obsessed with Zoroastrian and Sumerian astrology, and they perceive them as being more mystical and wiser and the source of knowledge. Still lesser and feminine and un-Greek, but they had this cool knowledge that they wanted. In the case of the Theosophists, Helena Blavatsky was the original Eat, Pray, Love type. She did spend several years in India and Nepal and Tibet, traveling and learning, and she is the first person to have translated Indian religious documentation into European vernaculars. And her writings were incredibly popular. Most pop culture understandings of Hindu or Buddhism to this day are rooted in Blavatsky's interpretations and Blavatsky's writings. The entire concept of a tulpa is based off Blavatsky's mistranslation of a Tibetan Buddhist concept of bodhisattvas sending manifestations into the world to help. Fun fact about Crowley's child that Adam just brought up is that...
Just for anyone who's watching the VOD or is kind of lurking, it was named Nuitma Anator Hecate Sappho Jezebel Lilith Crowley.
Yeah. So Crowley goes into this in his journals and his novels, which are fictionalizations of what he believed his magical practice was actually accomplishing. But he and his wife actually snuck into the tomb of Khufu in the Great Pyramid to have ritual sex, in the understanding that the child they conceived there would then be essentially a demigod who would have great magical power. And that is why their kid was named like that. You also had people doing stuff like going around claiming they were the Comte de Saint Germain.
Well, yeah, everyone wants to be the Comte de Saint Germain. Who doesn't want to be him?
Wait, as though he was still alive?
Yeah.
As though he was still alive, yeah, because he's one of those people who was professed to have discovered the Philosopher's Stone and the Elixir of Life. So it was a thing in Rosicrucian circles for guys to go around claiming they were Saint Germain, or they would claim not to just be Saint Germain, but to be other historical figures as well, like Pythagoras or Simon Magus or Hermes Trismegistus.
Simon Magus is a crazy one to claim.
Oh yeah, people were all over the place with this. Gerald Gardner, the founder of Wicca, was briefly part of a Rosicrucian society where he met a guy who claimed to be Saint Germain, and he thought that was absolutely ridiculous because the society also claimed that a lamp that they had was secretly the Holy Grail.
Sure.
And he found this very suspicious. Gerald Gardner is interesting for a lot of other reasons, including the fact that he became obsessed with knives as ritual implements because of time spent in Malaysia, where he got really interested in the esoteric applications of the Chris, and was briefly Muslim. It's unclear to what degree he genuinely converted and how much of it was convenience because of the fact he was stationed in Malaysia with the British military. But there was at least a period of time where he lived as though he was a Muslim man, and he was an interesting and he was very interested in like hobbyist archaeology and hobbyist anthropology, and leaned really heavily on these ritual lodges like the Golden Dawn to produce a framework for what he thought pre-Christian religious ritual ought to look like. Except, of course, all the Golden Dawn stuff was Egyptianized versions of the Catholic Mass that also heavily featured stolen Jewish mysticism, because that is how lodge sorcery did.
Yeah, yeah. It would have been nice if we had a Jewish character in this game.
That would have been cool, yeah. It would have been neat to have a Jewish character call out the theft.
Yeah. We've got a lot of other good characters from all over the place. But man, it would have been nice if we had someone who was actively, like, engaged in contemporary Jewish occultism, going like, hey guys, what the hell? This is so rude.
Oh, indeed. What else would have been a cool pull for them to draw on for this? Actually, the whole thing with Evelyn and the Milesians reminds me of some stuff that you see evolve out of the Wicca space and into the traditional witchcraft space. So, do you remember several weeks ago when I talked about the Cornish Pellars and Gemma Gary and all that stuff and the people who were interested in that? I briefly mentioned then that some of the branches of those traditions, which originally was from, I believe, Robert Cochrane and the Children of Cain, which was one particular coven in the UK. And one of the splinter groups off of that is the cultist Sabati. That was led by this guy named Andrew Chumbley, and one of his students, David Shulk, is still around and still writing. And the cultist Sabati is your very typical hedonic ritual lodge. I spent way too much time trying to parse the purple prose of his magnum opus, the Azoetia, and I am not going to give you points for guessing what the posture of the black dog upon the white bitch is. I just no points for guessing what that is. I was absolutely freaking furious. Do you have any idea how long I spent cross-referencing his runes, only to figure out it was a simple Hebrew cipher where they were using the Hebrew letters as English ones? I was so annoyed. And then it was all just sex stuff. Yeah, it was just sex magic. It was just sex magic all the way down. But part of the theology of the cultist Sabati is that magic is an innate quality that stems from human intermingling with the Watchers, right? The Nephilim. The first witches were the wives of the Watchers, which dovetails really nicely with what we have going on here in Seance at Blake Manor, with the Milesians and also the Tuatha Dei. Especially if you want to lean into the idea of the Aeons and the Tuatha Dei as the angels that sat out of the war in heaven, which you can also use the Watchers for, because the Watchers are an unconventional approach to the concept of the fallen angel. So the cult of Sabati has this literature about how the first witches were women who were taught directly by angels, and that magical quality is conveyed through the blood. And so there's this big emphasis on bloodline and seeking the magically talented, the people who have the secret fire from among the people of clay. Which, oh boy, that's just a euphemism off of saying mud person. And now we're back to the fascism and the eugenics.
Yes, we are.
And all that other horrible shit. And so there's a lot of stuff in the cultist Sabati literature about cultivating these people of the witch blood and perpetuating the witch blood, because it gives us ties to the true gods, and that the gods worshipped by the non-magical people were actually created by witches in the ancient days. And so all human religion and artifice, so we've got hyperdiffusion in here as well. And that all human artifice and religion comes from the witch blood and the teachings of the angels that came down to earth, etc., etc., etc. And oh god, there's one line that has been burned into my brain from the Azoetia about their ritual procedure and I have no idea if anyone's actually ever done this, because the Azoetia is an instruction manual for a mystery cult setup that is idealized in a way that I have no idea if the actual membership of the group has ever actually tried this. But in their literature, there is a line about how the ideal ritual performance is absolute hedonic, ecstatic practice, and there's this line in there about how members should basically push themselves into ritual catatonia through sex, with the stronger guiding the weaker. So
that's alarming.
Very alarming. So ritual sex, where catatonia is the goal, and the people who are not catatonic performing sex acts upon the people who are. Oh yeah, it's super fucked. It's super fucked. But but in like the mid 2010s, people were all over the Azoetia on occult Tumblr because it seemed very authentic and rooted and real, and because as part of reactionary pushback against images of the feminine in occult spaces, people turned around and said, hey, what if Aristotelian sexism was empowering and cool, actually? What if it's rad to be a filthy, chthonic, bloody lust beast? Because that sounds empowering if the idea of feminine identity that you've been sold on is Christian Puritanism.
Yeah.
Without knowing that the Christian Puritanism evolved out of the Aristotelian, you are a filthy, bloody lust beast that needs to be controlled.
Yeah, so maybe I'm glad that they aren't in this game, just like on principle.
These guys are over, like these guys are like a century down the road.
Yeah,
in this
fair.
game. But some of the ideas are already present in the new sphere of what's going on here, and some of the same ideas would dovetail quite nicely with the game and what they're playing into and how the narrative shook out.
What I think would have been very good to have would be a break from to have someone who is to add another member of the non-magic crew, because you should have someone who is going to be involved in the Rising.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
because we are within 20 years of the Easter Rising at this point.
Yeah.
So somebody involved in the proto-Irish, or the ongoing Irish nationalist movement that ends up hitting that phase, because you were supposed to have risings all throughout the country, but it got messy.
We
I think that would have been a good addition.
What if Vincent Varley was secretly an Irish nationalist?
That's why he's looking for the money.
Right.
That would be cool.
No, right. Just a slight pivot from he's looking for the money on the grounds of, he doesn't want all of his friends and de facto family to be unemployed. He actually cares about them. Into he actually wants to he wants Jonathan Blake's downfall so that he can repurpose the manor for the glory of Ireland.
Yeah, it becoming a PowerPoint or an attempted, it being an intended, there we go, like PowerPoint for risings in part of Connacht would have been because it has a telegraph.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you.
And that would dovetail into his epilogue nicely.
Yeah.
Because it calls out using Blake Manor as a refuge for people with nowhere else to go.
Yeah. That's what that's the person who I would have tweaked. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Right.
And that would have dovetailed interestingly with the Golden Dawn stuff as well, because Yeats is a big part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he could even then, if he was involved, then he could have a line being like, "Yeah, some people believe stuff." I've encountered people like this before. They're,
Oh,
they're around and they're often wealthy.
When were the ritual sacrifice people?
Like the French ones, the guy who wanted to be sacrificed himself.
No. The people who thought that they could sacrifice themselves in like a blood ritual to secure the independence of Ireland.
Oh,
That's-
well, it wasn't so. It wasn't necessarily super literal in performing a blood sacrifice, but the idea of it being a like an act of martyrdom.
Sure.
That is an idea that's circulating at this point, and will be one of the things that leads to the Rising, or that
Sure.
plays into the Rising. The Rising wasn't intended to be. It wasn't aspirationally going to fail.
Understandable, but you know, it's kind of a classic. You know, oh, we might die, but this is a martyrdom which will secure blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, we're going to necessarily be self-destructive, but some of you are going to die. I promise it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who wants to see a couple other endings?
Sure.
I'm game.
I do not know what Close is gonna do.
Yeah, that's what I want to try next. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I want to try next. Alistair Crowley, don't scare. Whee! Yep. All right. So we need this to go there. That to go there. That to go there. That... There's no way that works. See, there's also no way that this one works. It's a lot of lines, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the starting.
That could do it.
No, I end up one short. Right, because now I go all the way around the outside and I'm there. This'll do it.
Yeah, you're right, it will.
Okay. Oh. Yeah,
So
okay.
it feels Guavenu here. Okay.
And it just sinks him into the doom and gloom. Well...
Go to sleep, Goibnu. Go to sleep.
And we are able to still... We still get everyone out. So that sort of worked. Uh-huh. That seems suspiciously the same. That seems suspiciously similar. You know?
Yeah, I don't see us.
The difference appears to be that Goibnu does not get his happy ending.
True. And that's why I want to see if there's a different thing in the
Mr. Doyle,
summation of kind of near the end of this.
free from his would Anulio
Uh-huh.
Mr. He also published Miss
The other one is objectively the best one. What, you mean the one where Evelyn Dean dies and we don't have to deal with her shit anymore?
Mrs. La Mr. Miss Murph with Miss
You'll see. Okay, okay.
Father's
I just want to see if there's an actual change in here at all. Because something...
Mr. Varley used
Uh-huh.
he kept the
Kept the name Blake Manor, nothing changed there. Really? Really, really, really. So, just know that has no change whatsoever. Okay, so apart from Gwevnu getting, stuck, right, him just being like, knocked back to sleep, sorry, no dice for you.
He just
We can instead make everything go badly. Nothing bad could happen here, totally. Totally. I actually don't think there's any way that this works. Yeah. Okay.
I think you have to do the exterior diamond, then the interior
I got it.
square, and then
I had to start from the inside because that was the only way to fill it out. Yeah, isn't there a suck all of the blood out of everyone happening? Isn't there a suck all the blood out of everyone happening here?
Oh.
Also,
is that door to
Hey,
Tyrannog
headhunting.
getting bigger?
Hey, look, it's headhunting. Yeah, you know, fair. No, not the haunts.
Yeah, the two heads are interesting. That's a...
It's the end of the world as we know it.
You know what? They've been waiting a good long time to get that opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, and then that's just it. That's just it. So, what's that? The obviously bad ending was going to be obviously bad. And yeah. Not even a you died. Nope, just credits. Just credits. Alright. And then supposedly there's a post-credits scene. And I do not know... I do not know if there's a way that we can find it, but... Because it looks like it's all sort of playthroughs rather than anyone posted just the end credit scene. So... Yeah, due to a bug, we don't get to see the final thing. But, otherwise, well, I think we did a good job.
Yeah, I think this was... Yeah, I think this was great. This was really enjoyable. I'm fascinated by how this game came to be. I hope there's something up online about what caused this to be made.
Right? I hope so too. Let me... Let's see, here, so yeah, I don't have a lot else here, but I do want to say, if you are, did enjoy all this occult stuff, we're going to be back with more occult stuff real soon. Cause, did you know the Killing Stone releases on February 18th? Did you know that I am unbelievably excited for that? So, if you didn't catch when we saw that game, the pitch of that is you are a 17th century Scandinavian, sorcerer. Your mentor traded her soul to the devil. The devil is Liam O'Brien, and you need to do, deck building roguelikes against the devil, against a bunch of demons to try and save everyone involved.
Losing proposition, but
losing proposition, well. but hear me out. We have Seance of... We get to hear Liam O'Brien speaking 17th century period English for an awful lot of game. Like, the only two voice actors for the game are Liam O'Brien and Emma Gregory. And, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I am unbelievably excited for it. They absolutely, like, well, the actual demon that we faced, like, the gold mask guy that I died to in the demo, is, as far as I know, a invented demon. Everything else about the way the magic is working, the way they talk, the talking dog, the talking crow, everything is just pitch perfect. So it's going to be really, 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 really fun and exciting. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I've got. I think we have a really good summary here. We found a scene capture. You should be able to post a link, so let's see if we can't see the final scene here. Thank you. Oh yeah, so it's just the very, very end. That is a full game. That is a full 9-hour Let's Play. You gave me a full 9 hour 48-minute Let's Play, and you said that that was going to work for me. $8.50. Alright, well, close enough. Alright, let me quick turn down the game's volume then. Whoop, there we go. That way I can go over here. Whoop, not like that. Over here like that, and theoretically, 8:54:08, so we need to go forward a couple of times. Whee! Uh-huh. Post-credit scene. Oh boy. Oh no. Hang on, there's so much Harmon Trike. There's Evelyn. What are Evelyn and Declan? What are you doing? Ah. Yes, that would certainly do it. That would certainly be a thing. We get to have a moment with our brother. I can't believe we trusted Evelyn Dean. Declan. Like, how many people were telling you Evelyn Dean is bad news bears?
And at the very, very end of that, there's actually another little clip.
Is there?
Yeah.
How?
I don't understand it though.
After the credits, there's another one?
Yeah, it's like the last like 10 seconds.
Oh.
Go to 47.
A47 or 947?
947.
Huh. Okie dokie, give me just a moment. Nine. Oh, there is actually all sorts of stuff. There actually is something else completely.
Oh, it's a different fail state, I think, actually.
I think it's a different fail state. Or like if you just don't have all the info, didn't complete everything. There's something very odd happening here. Right? Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wonder what the conditions on that is.
Huh. Yeah, I couldn't. I can't think of what you could do to cause that to happen, or that to happen.
It must be if you just haven't, if like the ritual's at full power, or above a certain threshold of power.
Sense. Yeah.
And then he does his thing. That doesn't change. And then you can kind of fill that out however you want. And there's the go to sleep ending. Yeah. Then he can just run out, the whole place explodes. Segments on the machine were divided into 3 for the 3 victims. Yep. That's what I'm wondering, if it's at full power, it's just everyone's dead. GG's. And then you get a different sort of ending. Really? I mean, I guess that's just being polite.
Yeah.
But like, come on. Like, come on.
Like, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Well, so yeah, lots of options in there for how badly you can mess things up. Though we had a lot of time left over, so I feel like as long as you're being remotely proactive, it's pretty easy to make sure that doesn't happen, which is as it should be. Because I think, right, the puzzles of this game is good. The investigation point and click aspect of it is good, but the history is really where the game shines, and getting to like find all these more or less likable people.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. But yeah, things get real bad if you get saved like nobody, and then the ritual happened, and then they all got exploded. That would go poorly for somebody. But yeah, I think that makes a good spot for us to kind of wrap up for the night. Cause yeah. Also, there's other kind of final thoughts either of you have regarding this.
I've
Nothing really
gotten
on my
mine
end.
out.
I have to. Yeah. Well, I don't really have anything more to add on my end. I think this is just very, very well done, and I think it's an excellent representation of Ireland in a game,
Yeah.
of which there are almost none.
Yes. And I'm really, really pleased about that. So yeah, I think we'll just let everyone get going here. I tried seeing if there was other people in the channel, but it's a very quiet one. Or in the kind of playing this game as well, but it's very, very quiet tonight, with only a couple of folks, even live. So we'll leave it here. And yeah, I will see everyone tomorrow for Assassin's Creed Origins. I hope you will all join us then. We slid down the pyramid and burned our hands to a crisp doing so, and it was very fun. So stay warm, stay well, and yeah, I'll catch everyone same time, or actually later in the day, because I have D&D probably earlier in the day for Assassin's Creed Origins. Okay, good night, everyone. And of course, thanks to all of our patrons who are on the side of the screen over there. If you want to join them, you can click on the description if you're on YouTube or watching the VOD, or the link in Twitch chat. Also, thank you to all of the sniped, everyone whose names are going by for the subs, and Wolfie at 1066 for all the gift subs, and Bree for the raid. You are all very, very much appreciated. This is not possible without you. So again, thank you so much, and have a good rest of your nights.